Hey.
Hello.
Hello. You ladies look beautiful.
Thank you.
No. No. Alana.
Nani, Sambonani.
Hello, everybody. Hi. How are you?
We are great.
Oh man, I'm so glad you could join in. Hey, happy Women's Day. Oh, and hi everybody. It's so nice to see you. It's so nice to see faces. How are you doing? We're just going to give the others a few minutes to join in. I hope you have your tea, your mkombo tea, your coffee, your juice.
The works.
The works. Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. Hi.
Thank you. So are you.
Oh damn! I didn't know. I thought she was talking to me. I just jumped on that. Sorry.
it is you, Alvina, right? It's Alvina. Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love your head.
Thank you.
Yesterday I almost cut my hair because I was like, oh my gosh, it's so long.
Yeah. I always feel like that. Even after day 2 of cutting my hair, I'm like, I can feel a bit of a brush. Let me go and, quickly. At least I do it myself, so it's easy.
Yeah, same here. I just take a clipper and I'm on with it. So
Yeah.
let's see who's online. Nol Baba, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Really good.
Excited to be a part of this.
Oh, thank you so much, guys, for your response. Hey, I was just like, oh, let's do something. You know what? Even if we just collectively just take a big sigh of, I don't know, catch our breath. It's because it's been a lot. It's been a lot. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining. And yeah, please
Thank
feel free to use the chat box. I'll be able to read some of the comments. Hello. Okay, so who's the Tiny? How are you, Tiny? You're on mute.
Hi, Amanda. I'm great. Thanks. How are you? I'm breastfeeding though, so if I get distracted, please guys understand.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
We're sending lots of love to you and Baba.
Thank you. Happy Women's Day, ladies.
To you as well. Okay, so I've spoken to Alvina. Maddie, how are you, Maddie?
I'm good. Hello, everybody. Happy Women's Day.
Hello. Happy Women's
Hi, Maddie.
Day. And where are you from?
I'm currently based in Fourways.
Oh, okay, so you're local. Okay, wonderful.
Yes, I am.
Litabo, how are you, Litabo?
The white one.
I am excited and so happy to be here. How are you?
Really good. I'm also very excited.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hello. Who's that? Patu? Hello, Patu.
Hi, Amanda. Hi, everyone. Happy Women's Day.
Oh, to you as well, my love. I see we've got people from Kenya. Hello. All right, let's just allow people to join in. Let me
Maybe
see.
you should join me. Get inspired.
Let me see who else is here. Just give me a moment.
Inspired together, my love.
Nelfie, how are you, Nelfie?
Right, thank you, Amanda. I'm really excited. Happy Women's Day, everyone.
I'm not the only inspiration. There's a lot.
See you as well. You look amazing, ladies. Hello, Namonde.
Hello, happy Women's Day, you gorgeous
Nina, see,
women. So lovely to meet you.
Oh,
I'm so excited that you ladies could join. Okay, who's next? Perpetual from Kenya. How are you, lady?
Hi, I'm fine, thanks. How are you
Amanda
guys?
Dambuza.
Hello, welcome.
Oh my God. Thank you so
I was
much. I'm
looking
so glad
myself
to join you
for
guys
vitality.
today.
Oh man, I'm so excited. Thank you.
Yeah.
Atang, we see you on screen. And
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Kwanza bangamba ni
Hello, everyone. So good to be here.
hello.
You're good.
Welcome. Mahoro.
Hi, Amanda, how are you?
Fine with you.
I'm great, thanks. I'm also feeding my baby.
I love it. We do these things. Well done. All right, let's see who else we have. If I pick you up, Kawekazi. Hello, Nicole.
Hello. Sambonani, beautiful ladies. I am so stoked for this morning.
Oh man, thank you. Thank you so much for joining. Where are you from?
I am from Johannesburg. I'm based in Joburg. Yeah, Colet Gardens.
Oh,
I'm a local one. I'm a local baby.
There's also iPhone 31. Who's Mpumi? Mpumi, let's go to you, Shem. I think you
Oh
keep
my
trying to say
Hi, everybody. I'm excited to be here.
Hey, we are also very excited. Thank you. Buzi, how are you, Buzi, my love?
Hi, Amanda. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, darling?
I'm doing good.
Been
Thank
a
you so much.
while.
It's been a long while, hey?
Well, you still look beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks, ladies, for joining. I'm so excited. Norma, how are you? You're on mute, my love. Sounds like you're saying something amazing, but we can't hear it.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Amanda. Hi, everybody. Happy Women's Day. I'm just so excited. I didn't even realize I'm on mute. Hi, guys.
Hello, my darling. Let's see. Who else do I have on screen? Let's see. Just give me a moment. Give me one moment. Nomandla. Hello, Nomandla.
Hi, ladies. Hi, Amanda.
How are
I'm so
you?
excited. I'm good,
thank you. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm really good. So I think you all have your playlist, right?
Of course, of course.
Good. Because I think we let's get on with it. And the others will join us as they come. Well, they'll join as they have, well, as they decide. But firstly, I just want to say that you know, we've all been going through the most. If it's not losing loved ones, it's losing livelihood. It's having people sick. It's being sick. It's, you know, it's just been a lot. So I thought that, you know, most of us can't really go and gather anyway. But what if we actually just did a big party online, you know, because we can. so I really appreciate you taking part in it. But just before we carry on, I really would love to just spare a moment for all of the people who have lost, for all of the people who are fighting for their lives as we chat, for all of the people who are, you know, just struggling with heartache and struggling with a lot. So it will just be a moment. You can pray quietly if you want, or loudly, it's up to you, or just be silent. I'd appreciate that if that's okay with everyone. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate that. It is important for us to know that our loved ones know we love them, know that we think about them, even the ones that are departed. They must know that they're always in our hearts. So thank you for that. Welcome, welcome. Who's on screen? Miriam. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi. Oh my God. I'm well, thank you. How are you? I was just testing because I went in with no camera. So I'm like, everyone is on camera. Let me try this. But I didn't know that I'm on the spot. How are you doing?
Right. You're spotlighted. we are really well. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much.
How are you, Sihle? Omuhle? You're on mute.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much. Nontokozo, welcome. You're on mute.
Hi, everyone. Hi, ladies.
That's Loretta and Dulo. Is it the same? No. Okay. Hello, Loretta. Welcome.
Thanks, Amanda. Sorry, I can't turn on my video where I am.
It's okay. It's all right. Nontokozo, Mbele, how are you, lady? You're on mute. Hi, Kia. Whilst Nontokozo turns off her mute, let me see if I can unmute.
Hello, Amanda. Hello, ladies.
Hello, Kia. How are you?
I love that laugh and that smile.
Thank you so
Love
much.
it.
Are you well?
Happy Women's Day. I am well, thank you. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm really good. All right. So I'll pick up people as we go. I see there's Kidiboni. Hello, Kidiboni Mashilo. She is on mute. You're on mute, my love. Let me ask you to unmute. Bunolo, how are you, Bunolo?
I'm great. Oh my God. How can I not be great being on this platform? Hi, Amanda. Hi, ladies. I am so excited.
So even the ones that are writing on the chat, welcome, Asanda Ramini, Tabang, Dora Rapiri, Spogazi, welcome everybody, welcome. All right, so I think let's get going, right? So I'm thinking let's start off with a bit of music. What do you think?
Yes, why not?
Yes.
Let's go. Let's go with our first song. I hope you did download or get your playlist in order because it's gonna be lit over here. Can you can play on your phone, and I don't think we need to be silent for this one.
Woohoo! Wait, which one are we starting with? Which song are we starting with? Ah.
Your music. Can you hear mine? Yes. Yes.
Let me remember. Okay, music. Okay.
Cheers, ladies. Happy Women's Day.
Happy Women's Day.
I love this song.
Yes. That's one of my favorite songs.
Think you can change me?
I go. Yeah, for your vote.
I've been thinking my life is what it is, and this is how you found me. This is who I am. This is how I am. This is what I am, and it's how I
And it's all forever be. Whatever.
Get over it.
You're always on my case.
There's many that I'm not.
I promise to be.
I'm done. Call up to the cinema. You couldn't tell me I'm a copy up.
Talk to what I should be.
I said, okay, stop. Thank you.
There's many that I'm not.
Think you can change me? Think you can change me? Yes.
Come on, girls.
I go.
Baby, you're gonna lose me.
I said, babe. You're gonna lose me.
Hey. My house when you chilling with my boys and you coming close to see me, even though I'm innocent.
Get over
Hey, I love that. I think we got the gist of the matter.
Yes.
Oh yes. We still have a long playlist to go through, so I think I'm always talking. So today it is so nice to actually interact with people and actually get to conversate, because most of what I do online is just about you ask a question, I respond, or I never just get to interact and engage. So I'm so excited. I am so excited. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you for hosting us.
Oh my God, we're so excited to hear.
It's it's my pleasure. And there is no predefined agenda here. I just thought we'd get together and just let our head down and just breathe for a moment. So I am quite happy for you to raise your hand and start to say something. So I'll tell you what Women's Day means for me. You know, it's an opportunity to reflect on the legacy that we are leaving behind for those coming behind us. Because ultimately we celebrate this day because where brave women went and faced up to the system and said it's enough, and thereby paving the way for some of us. In fact, I think that was so courageous that a lot of us have taken quite a lot of courage from that. So I'm always thinking that as women, you know, what sort of path are we paving, and are we going to be proud when our time has come that our daughters and our nieces will walk on these footprints that we leave behind? And I want to say today, before I open before it becomes open mic, I want to 100% say, you do not have to be strong. Please, we are not Mbogodos. And whilst I understand the sentiment that comes with that and where it had come from, I think as women, we have also internalized the unintended consequences of being called strong, of being, you know, people that can brave anything. And in no shape or form am I trying to be controversial. That's just who I am, okay? So we must question these things. Like, I hope that we can be at a place in our lives where it's okay to actually encourage vulnerability, where we say that you don't have to be strong, but your support system must be strong for you when you need them to be. So I have no intention of telling you to be strong and keep going. No, if you don't feel like keep going, catch your breath, you know, stand still for a moment. Just say it's too much for me. I just need time out. And then you keep going again, whatever your level of comfort is, because ultimately this thing is not a competition. You're not competing with anyone. You know,
Good morning.
It's you living.
Is your color printer working?
If it means
your
that.
copier.
Yes.
Okay.
Mercy, please mute yourself. I'll just mute you, don't worry. Hey, I've got the power. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So those are my words. We have the strength. We are born with it. That is unquestionable. However, we must be encouraged to say when we are not coping, to say that, you know what, I need some time out, to say that actually I need my support system to be stronger right now because I'm not okay, and to not expect so much of ourselves and very little of others. So that's my opening spiel for now. I would love to hear from you, to hear what does Women's Day mean for you, but not the day. It's just, you know, your embodiment of the spirit of the day, and where to from here for yourself. So you raise your hand and via the system, I'll pick you up. You all know where the gestures are, right? Okay, Maddie has her physical hand up. Let me go to Maddie.
Amanda, thank you very much for the platform. I just wanted to say, just to add to what you just said now, this morning on my stories, I actually posted, when you strike a woman, you harm her. Yeah. Women are not rocks, and I wish we stopped preaching the invincibility and get real about our humanity. And for me, I'm one of those women who has constantly been defined as the so-called matriarch of the family. And then whenever any of my family members define me, the first word they use is strong. Yeah. And I've got to a point where I've told them I shall no longer be defined as that. I am human. I'm not invincible. I have my own wounds. I have my own fears. I have my own sleepless nights about issues. So I will not be a rock or be someone that's defined as carrying a load for anybody else. All of us have our little loads to carry. Yes, I'm approachable. Yes, I can help, but I'm not invincible, and I'm not the so-called strong one in the family.
I like it. And I think that the risk that we run when we carry on as these people, as these machines, the risk we run is that people keep coming to us and we breed that dependency. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with being strong. It's just being strong on your terms, on your own terms, whatever that is. It's just that we cannot keep expecting it of ourselves all the time. So I like that. Thank you, Maddie. I'll tell you who had their hand up. Just give me a moment. It was Tabis. Just give me a moment. Alvina, I see you. Just one moment. I'll find the hand that is up. Tabile. Tabile Mkatra. Yes, there you go. Hello.
Hi, everyone. Hi, ladies. Happy Women's Day.
Hi.
It's such an interesting one, hey, because for me, particularly this Women's Day is so significant. So I turned 33 this year, which is my Jesus year. And, you know, that's like apparently such a powerful year. But I've been scared, you know, I've been so scared. And I've been treading lightly on my dreams. I've been treading lightly, you know, just watching everything around me happen. And this year I promised myself, because my birthday is in January, I promised myself that by the time Women's Day comes, Lola Valo, I must have gotten over it. Yeah. So I've taken small steps. You know, I'm still scared, but at least now I'm scared and I'm doing it. So all the ideas that I had, I'm looking at the phenomenal women around me doing it. And some of them have also confessed to being scared, to being unsure, to thinking maybe this isn't such a good idea, but let me try. So yeah, this is the year where I'm gonna be scared, but I'm still gonna do it.
If you don't mind me asking, what are you scared of?
Starting a business.
Okay, sure, you should be scared.
Very scared.
No, I'm joking. Okay, well, listen. I think that the best way to overcome fear is to confront it. So you need to understand why you're fearful. And maybe the more information you have in your hand, the more courage you have. So whatever business you want to start, actually, I think you should watch the mentorship session I did on Varsity Sage around this particular topic, because I spent quite a lot of time on it. It's you know, sometimes fear can be conquered by just adding a bit more knowledge and information to your decision steps, and then you start to remove that fear of the unknown. So you just go and confront it, and the rest you pray and hope for best. All right, Alvina, I'll come to you. Thank you, Tabile.
Thanks.
Hey, hi guys. To Tabile, here's to being fearful and still doing it.
Still doing
Love
it.
that.
Yes.
And still doing it. And that is something that I totally resonate with, because a lot of the times I'm surrounded with like unknowns, these things of like, oh, this is so unknown. I've never done this, or I don't know anyone in my, you know, support system that's ever done it. So it's so scary. And it's something that's always like, I don't know, can I do it? Can I not? Or whatever, but you still step out and do it. And I stepped out and did that and moved across the world from home. I'm from Zimbabwe, moved to the UAE, and it was a great unknown, trust me, like a complete great unknown, but I found myself here.
Yay.
I found myself, I found who I want to be. I found who I hope to be, you know, and I found the things that I would want to tell my 18-year-old self, my 20-year-old self here, you know. So my message for Women's Day is go out and do it.
Yes.
Go out and live loudly and fully, unapologetically, you, and just love you and enjoy you yourself, you know. That's something that I think as women, we're not taught to do. And we're always taught to package ourselves and like, you know, you're not supposed to be seen doing this, or you can't do this because you're a woman, or you're the CC, you're the mamkulu, you're the, you know, so you can't be found doing this. You can't be seen wearing shorts, or, you know, those ridiculous things.
I'm like, wear them. The shorter, the better.
Right. Exactly. Why not? So that's the thing. Like, go out and find yourself. Go out and enjoy yourself and just living this full life that we've been blessed with, especially in these 18 months that we've been through. If there's nothing that we've learned, if there is nothing, take one thing to enjoy today and yourself and the life that we have, the life that we're blessed with, the health that we're blessed with in that moment, you know. And this is a message to me as well, by the way. So yeah.
I love it. But imagine if you hadn't moved forward, if you hadn't moved or taken that step forward towards what it was you're doing. Imagine if you had let fear hold you back. So I agree 100%, whether you do it fearful or not.
Yeah. And I will tell you, the one thing for me is listening to, you know, when the Bible for me says, you know, when we read the Bible and it says, order my steps.
Yes.
That listening to your steps being ordered is very, very important, because sometimes you get the messages and you're like, no, maybe not, no, yeah, you know, but keep walking in those steps and you realize, I personally experienced that and realized how really there's a great world out there.
Yeah.
And when God says his plan is for you to prosper you, walk in those steps and he will surely surprise you.
I like it. Thank you, Alvina. It says iPhone 31. So iPhone 31.
Sorry, ladies, I forgot to change my name. My name is actually Pindi. And yes, for me, Women's Day, to be honest, it has left, it's different from the previous years. I've always advocated for women empowerment and all of that. But this year, it's a bit different. Why? Because what I'm going through currently, to cut the long story short, I'm a 32-year-old lady who's going through a divorce from a narcissistic and abusive husband, right?
Yeah.
And what I wanted to highlight was that when I reached out to some ladies that I thought would cover my back when I came out to say, hey, listen, this is the situation that I'm in, instead of them hiding or protecting my vulnerability and the challenges I was going through, I was so exposed. And that's when I realized that, shucks, the reason why gender-based violence is not ending anytime soon is because the women in our society, some women in our society, they're condoning the behavior of abusive men, right? For me, it was a shock because this is the first time I'm going through this. I've never been through something like this before. And the men, they protect their friends. And that's the challenge that we're having in our society when it comes to gender-based violence. Actually, I'm actually shaking. But one thing that I want to say is I thank some of my friends that are actually on this call who have covered my shame, who have covered the struggles that I'm going through. And not everyone will expose you, but I just want to make an appeal to us ladies that when someone comes to you and they're going through a lot of burdens, don't go and expose that person, because if it wasn't for personal development and the character that I have, I probably would have been in a depression ward right now because of just how oppressed the oppression that I'm going through by other women that I thought would cover me in that situation. So that's, for me, that's my appeal. And it's so funny that I posted this on my status. I said, this year I'm not going to be strong because I realized that I'm an egg. So and that's the narrative that I'm pushing from this year going forward. So thanks again, Amanda, for this. I actually didn't want to log in because I was like, I don't want to be a part of another woman's superficial event. I'm so tired of those events, you know. After this, you go and you laugh at another woman. What's the point of us having these events if you are not going to be authentic about the narrative that we are pushing as women? So thank you so much for this platform, Sis Amanda.
Thank you, Pinky. I'm so glad you decided to log in, because clearly you needed to be here and we needed to hear from you. And I'm really sorry that you're going through a hard time, but you know, I'm proud of you for making the decision to go through it, even though it's hard, because it is the lesson that you are also trying to teach those around you that matters. Because, you know, as they say, sometimes when one woman stands up and stands up for themselves, or have the courage to stand up for themselves, you are standing up, you're giving permission to the others to do the same. And there's no comfort in growth. You know, you don't grow in a comfortable spot where everything is working well. And for me, the real heroes of their life, the real hero of your life is the person that braves through the hardest decisions of their lives, because it could have been easy for you to just choose to stay because it's the easiest thing to do. So I'm sending you lots of love and lots of encouragement. And we have got to be the women we want to be. So the women we want to see out there, we must be that, absolutely, without a shadow of doubt. I don't think you have any shame. So I don't think your friends came and covered any shame. I just think your friends came and supported you because you needed them. And this is what I said earlier, that your support system must be the one that's the strongest when you need them the most. So there's no shame in what you're going through. There's no shame in people exposing your pain. The shame is on them, not you. So we love you. This group of women love you. And we're rooting for you.
Yep.
Thank you, Kindi. Thank you for being so vulnerable. I appreciate that. Makoro.
Hi, Amanda. Hi, ladies. You guys are so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Happy Women's Day. So for me, women are flowers. You know, we need to be nurtured. We need to be taken good care of. So for me, Women's Day is so special, and I feel like I'm a first-time mom. If you were here earlier on, yes, probably you saw that I was feeding my baby.
Yes, feeding, yes.
Yes, I was feeding. So for me, it's so beautiful and so powerful. I feel so empowered, and also like seeing women like you, Sis Amanda, you know, being confident unashamedly, you know. And I look at myself, I'm like, how Makoro, please stop putting yourself in a bubble. Yeah. You need to get out of there and just, you know, shine. You know, yes, you have so much light, you have so much to give, you know. So just shine, and looking at you, and I've learned so much just by looking at how you do, you know, the dances or the talking. I'm like, oh, what? You know, Sis Amanda is also a human being, and I can also do it, you know. So for me, to all the ladies, stop putting yourself in a shell. Just get out there and shine your light, because you have so much to offer. So yeah, happy Women's Day.
I love it. I love. Well done, Makoro. Well done. That is so sweet. We can never dim our God-given light. And Natagozo? You're on mute still. Let me see.
Sorry.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm so excited. You know, for me, Women's Day is actually quite, I think, different this year. Definitely very different. 12 years ago, I lost my mom on Women's Day. So I was still a girl at that time, becoming a woman, and I've never really celebrated women. I've never thought of it as a day to celebrate. But today, for me, I sit back and I look back over the past year, and I thank God for lockdown, because I've had these sessions with you guys, and even Carol when you had your other webinars. Yes. And from that, I realized that, okay, it's fine being weak. I've always been a weak person because I was always babied, even from my mom when she was still alive. But I guess I just realized my strength from within to do greater things.
Yes.
So for me, I realized that being a young wife that I am, a young mom, I don't need to just be that. I actually realized who Ntokozo is again. And I'm chasing my dreams again. Yeah. My husband is like, where is this other Ntokozo? I'm loving this Ntokozo. Yeah. I've started a business, something I never dreamed of, and it's working out. I'm taking up space in the small spaces around me. I'm growing at work. I'm growing academically. I'm just reaching who Ntokozo wants to be. and I'm just living my life. And for the first time, when I reminisced about my mom this morning, when I thought about her and I was praying for her, I actually realized and I said, you know what? I'm so grateful to you, Queen. Her name was Queen. And I was like, I'm so grateful to you, Queen, for leaving me, because damn, you have been praying for me. And I just don't need to be in my bed and crying this year. I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be happy and I'm going to be celebrating. And that is what Women's Day has been really for me this year.
Oh my Lord. Oh, that is so special. Well done. Hey, because you deserve it. I mean, this is the thing. You said it, you're taking up space. We must really, really fetch our lives because they are there for us to fetch. And so what if we don't get it right? You know, we try again, because for as long as we've got breath in our bones, we're gonna wake up and keep trying, right? I love it.
Definitely.
Well, I'm really happy for
Thank you.
Asanda.
Thank you.
So can Pindi, Makoro, and you, Nontogozo, just drop your hands, please. Asanda.
Hi everyone. Hi Amanda.
Hello.
I hope I do not cry, because I've been crying throughout.
Okay, to cry.
But what I gathered from what has said is that we are put in a position to change the narrative. We are put in a position to omit the pain and the burden for the next generation. Hence why we go through what we go through.
Yes.
So I'm listening to this lady with divorce, and I'm thinking to myself, DT, we are actually experiencing our answered prayers. Because at some point, I best believe that she wanted to be liberated. No one would want to be in a situation whereby she's abused. So I think she wanted to be liberated, and hence why I say we are living our answered prayer. We are experiencing our answered prayers. And yes, of course, you know, these experiences come with their own challenges. So for me this morning, I reflected and I said to myself, what do I want to achieve? And who am I waiting for? Because that is a very powerful question. Who am I actually waiting for? Who is this person that I think will come and save me? Who is this person that will actually encourage me to start my business or do whatever I actually want to do? Who is this person? Because that person is me. That person, I look at that person every time I look in the mirror. I am that person. And for me, this day basically means that I reflect and I realize that no one owes me anything, not even my mother. And I need to stand up and get everything and go for everything that I want to go for and achieve it.
Yeah, I love that so much. Because not even your mother. And guess what? We look up to our mothers for so much, eh? And we and then you soon realize, okay, maybe I should speak for myself. You soon realize, there's nothing there. So just keep going. And keep trying. And also they're also human, right? So they also come with their own things. They bring their own things. So I'm glad you found that. I'm glad you found yourself. Thank you so much. Lula Mane.
Yes, good morning, and thank you so much for the opportunity and the time to be here. I just wanted to comment on the Women's Day for me this morning. For me, I feel that just Women's Day, I mean, like being a woman, you give birth to everything.
Yes.
The most successful man who's out there, it was given birth by a woman.
Yes.
Yes, we need a partner to have a child, but he only plants a seed and you have to nurture that seed as a woman until like you give birth to it and as a child. So I think for me, more than anything, when I reflected this morning about Women's Day, I said maybe it's that time where we stop wanting assurance. You know, a lot of things that we want to do. You want to first touch base with Sis Amanda, what does she think?
Yeah.
But you are the idea holder. But I'm that person who knows what is it that I want. Yes, I might not be able to say it properly, but why do I always have to go and ask other people, Uguti, how can it be done? Yes, there's nothing wrong with getting an opinion somewhere, but it must just be part of what I want and not that as long as she said something, I know it's what is right. So for me, I think now moving forward, I think actually from 2021, 2020, I was in that route. It's what I want.
Yes.
It's what I need. It's what's gonna benefit me. It's what will make me be able to sleep at night, wake up refreshed tomorrow to look forward to something else. So now, why must I always have someone who's rubber stamping what I need and what I feel good? It's gonna make me happy.
Yes, I
So
love
for
that.
me, it's about that yes, ladies, we do need opinion. We do need ideas from people who've been there, who've done it. But it's your idea. You own it a different way now.
Yeah.
I just love the point that you made with the mothers, that most times you want to look up to your mom. But along the way, you realize that no, man, this person has faced her own things. And actually, some of the things that she faces is not what I will ever face in my life. So I cannot just focus on this person. Yes, I'm grateful that she gave birth, that she's been with me so long, but I can also be my own person with all the influence that she's also given. And happy Women's Day, ladies.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Lulama. We appreciate that. And I mean, you speak to something that is so important, and that is trusting ourselves and trusting our own voice. And listen, I don't even have words to add. Thank you. Bakang?
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ladies, for sharing. I totally resonate with what a lot of everyone has said. And I think in my reflection, I think for this year particularly, I've been grappling with this whole, I think it's related to that notion of strength, but it almost seems to be like a strength paradox, right? It feels like the world wants you to be strong, you know, never ask for help, always be perfect and all these things. But then it's those things that then stop you from actually starting, you know, the business, even if it's not perfect, from actually getting the help that you need. But then also when you do manage to at times get to the level where, you know, you're strong, you got it, you're a boss, then now it's like, oh man, she's so aggressive. Why doesn't she ever do this? Why doesn't she ever do that? And I think the point that a lot of us have raised here, just to be like, actually, you need to stop and to take the time to reflect so you can back yourself. You can be like, actually, I'm here because, you know, yes, I am strong, but I also need help. I don't need to be all the time. I don't need to have the answer to everybody's everything. And that's how then you can help like push yourself forward. So I think those are lessons for me that I've had to learn, that the strength paradox is so paralytic to us as women in so many ways. And for me, how I'm trying to counter it is that reflection. Take a moment, stop, be like, girl, you have made it so far. We're not stopping here. So yeah, that's my reflection.
And no one ever tells a man they're aggressive.
No,
they so boldly tell women that they're aggressive. And you're like, excuse me, whose benchmark are we using? You know?
Yeah, men are just ambitious. They go getters.
Yeah, then we are aggressive. But again, these are all the things that we must change. These are the narratives that we must change, because we will never win a war we have opted out of. So, you know, we sit there and we fight what we need to fight. And the beauty of us being women is that we never even have to be revolutionary about our fighting ways, because we are gifted, guys. We got the moves. We've got the moves with our tongue. We know how to speak. We know how to actually bring people in. So sometimes we don't even have to tap into this other, like, you know, out there power. No, you just have to keep looking inward and use that. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Who's Galaxy A71?
Let me unmute. Hi guys, my name is Peculiar. You can call me Peku. I think it's much easier.
No,
I'm so Yeah, I'm so glad because I actually wanted to join this meeting and I was told it was oversubscribed, but thanks to my queen and number one supporter, Roni, she said, hey, there's still space, go in. So I just want to say thank you so much for
Did your
inspiring
friend
us.
share the link with you? Shady.
Yeah. She just said to me, hey, join, there's no space. And I like, I couldn't not join in. But what I wanted to say is that for me, in terms of Women's Day, and also being a woman who has gone through so much in her life, my story, I think I can write a book about it. And it can be a bestseller, better than yours, I'm telling you, Amanda. Joking. I just, I'm joking. I just wanted to say, to me, I don't think we need a special day to reflect and about us women, as because on a daily basis we do so much. We are so much to the world, to everyone else, and it's so important for us to just always just remember who we are, because and also surround ourselves with people that will help you remember where you are, who you are, because at some time you get lost in other people's lives, especially if you are a married woman or you are in the corporate world and all that. You become somebody else that you're not, and if you don't take time to reflect and look at who you are, you get lost in there, and it becomes such, you really lose your sense of self. And I want to take this opportunity to thank all the women out there that are going through so much right now, but they still have the time and take the time out to go to other women, to reach out to other women who are also going through a lot, and say, hey, let me take your hand.
Yes.
I'm there. And I really want to just thank all those queens out there and say, hey, Mbogoto, and happy Women's Day.
Oh, I love it. Happy Women's Day. I think this is a great time for a break. The break is about a song. Let's get moving a little bit. I'm going to play this DJ's in the Umlilone. So find it on your playlist. Let's go. And we'll take the rest of the hands when we come back. And I see we've got, wait, we still have some time.
Oh, Alvina. Michael.
How is she working, man?
Oh, Namalanga.
I missed quite a lot because of Yazi Khaled, because it's quite interesting. Yeah, it's a break. Yeah, no, people sharing their story. It's a break, that's why I do want to tune in.
Yeah, babili bavela babili abathathu.
Oh.
Yeah. And let's put it, yeah. 68.
Come on, women, let's celebrate.
Yeah. Eh? No, I haven't said anything. I mean, I'm saying so you don't know what people are raising hands.
Sebebona mina ngazi ufaka zenomunye umuntu ngokuthandana mina ngotshela abanye onamalanga yebo. Cheers, ladies. Yes. Oh yeah. Mabutumlilo onamalanga
Hey! I love it. I love it. Come on, girl. Woo! That's so good. No, I love it. This is what I hoped and wished for. Thank you, ladies. We'll see. On to you now.
All right. That was fun. Happy Women's Day to everyone. My name is Busi. And for me, just reflecting on this day, one of the things that came to mind is a lot of the expectations that we have of ourselves is not only because of society, but it's also because of ourselves, you know?
Yep.
We as women, we put a lot of expectations on ourselves.
Yes.
So I really had to reflect, and I because I was really tired and I'm feeling very burnt out, and I just felt like I can't take a break. I've got so many things to do. And for me, that made me realize that, you know, that I'm setting expectations.
Yeah.
And now I have to live up to those expectations. And I've got nobody else to blame but myself. So for me, it was just about, you know, just reflecting, just stepping back and saying, you know, what unrealistic expectations am I setting? And how do I move forward and start setting realistic expectations that make me happy and that are not about what I do for others and how I show up for others and how I show up for my family, how I raise my kids and what I have to do for my extended family members. Those are all the expectations that I had. But yeah, for me, it's just celebrating that and today just reflecting on that and really creating new expectations for myself that are healthy for me and that work for me.
Oh man, I love that. Because you can't give anything to any of these people if you haven't given anything to yourself, you know? Absolutely. And I think this is how we grow so resentful as women, because we give so much to others, nothing for ourselves. Yet we're the ones that probably sacrifice the most, you know? I love that. I'm glad you got to that. And ladies, just before I come to Litabo, please feel free to use the chat box and let us know what you do and what support you need from us. And we can also do this on the Vastly Sage Instagram page. So, you know, everyone who's here, who get to go back there as well and just pop in where you think we can support you, even if it's just to mention your business. I must have I must do a precursor. I can mention your business, but I can't say that you are great, because if I haven't sampled you, you know, I get so many people ask me to, please, can you say something about my products? But I'm like, I've never even engaged with you. I don't know. Now I must go and lie about two people. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. So I can repost what you do. I can say something about it, but I can't vouch for it unless I have actually experienced your service. So let's also check our expectations of each other. I'll support you, but I'm not gonna lie, man. And if I haven't had great service, I won't say anything publicly about you, but I'll tell you directly. I'll be like, no, not acceptable. But I won't embarrass you, at least not the first time or the second time. I give chance. So I hope that you own your stuff too. Let's go. You're on mute, my love.
Hi, ladies. Hello. You guys look so lovely. All right. So for me, Women's Day means being comfortable in my own skin. I spent most of my teens like self-harming myself, and for the first time, I actually recently moved out of home, and for the first time, I'm enjoying my space. I don't have any thoughts of cutting myself, and I'm just surrounded by great women. Women's Day means being comfortable and just loving Olitabo from head to toe and internally as well. I love you, ladies.
We love you, Litabo. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love
Yeah.
the smile. I love the smile. I love the energy. And my only wish in life is no matter how dark things get, we must never lose our smile and just that sense of pep talking ourselves, right? Because ultimately, and I think it was Lulama who said it, you know, it's trusting ourselves, it's trusting that voice inside of us, you know. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, Olga, we're on to you, babe.
Hi, am I audible? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. Hi, Amanda. I remember there was, when I first discovered you, right? I was, when I first discovered Fasti Sage, actually, I went on to, I think it was when you interviewed Amanda. Ayanda Tabete. Yes, and then I left a message there and I said, you must remember, I actually pinned my message and I was like, I'm gonna have tea with you soon. And then I was like, you must remember this message. And here we are, even though it's visual, but here we are. So thank you so much for this platform. Like, I've been looking up to you for the past 3 years. I've been just watching you religiously and I've been growing as like every post, every video that you share with us, like I've been taking, you know, like all that I could take and I've been growing. So thank you so much just for being you and for sharing you with us. Like, you don't know how many lives you are touching and I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
For me, Women's Day means like actually a lot more, particularly this Women's Day, if I could actually say it that way. So in 2019, right, I gave birth to my son, right? And right after giving birth, like, I'm trying not to be emotional, so don't mind my pausing, okay? So after giving birth to my son, like, I couldn't breastfeed him, right? Because they discovered like a blood clot in my brain. So subsequently after the birth, I had to undergo a brain surgery. So I had to take him home to my parents, and then I was here in Joburg to undergo like the surgery. I was like in hospital for like a month, and it was in December. Can you believe it? Like, I was texting my family, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year on a hospital bed. It was just me and my husband. It was like the worst time of my life. My son was only 3 weeks old when I left him. So it was like, oh my God. So the reason why I'm actually mentioning this is because we just come out of a breastfeeding week. So I was like every day when I go on Instagram, people are, sharing their breastfeeding experiences, their breastfeeding journey. And every day I would go to bed, like crying because it took me back to 2019 after I gave birth and I couldn't breastfeed and all of that. So today I had the conversation with my husband as to what really, like this particular women's day means to me. And I said, for the first time, I'm actually not sad, I'm actually not sad that I couldn't do this for my son when I had to, even though like the past week actually put me back to the dark space that I was in. But most of the times when I was going to bed in tears, it was tears of gratitude, most importantly, and not really tears of sadness, you know. And I was actually watching a lot of Oprah as well and reading a lot about her quotes and stuff. And there's this one particular quote that I took away, and then she says, like even no matter what you are, like all of us, we've got like the same common purpose, whether you are a doctor, whether you are a mother, whether you are like a surgeon basically. But at the end of the day, we all, like, we've got the same purpose, which is fulfilling the highest truthful expression of ourselves,
Yes.
and I took that with me, and I'm like, you know what, from the day when I left that hospital, I told myself that I will never, ever, ever not live my life to the best of myself. So from 2 years ago, like, I've been trying to just live my life like as truest as I can, and I've been trying to elevate and thrive from each and every circumstance that I find myself in. I try and I become a better person from whatever hurdle, from whatever ordeal that I've been facing. I also lost my dad to the COVID. So like every day, like no matter what I go through, I always tell myself, you know what, you are better than this. You are coming out of this a better person, a bigger person. So, like every day. So just like in Dokozo, I also, I've been redefining who I once was. So every day is an opportunity for me to do better academically, business wise, like in all the aspects of my life. I am trying every day just to be the better version of myself. And I have not looked back ever since.
I love
And yes, and to have people like you, who are out there every day trying to tell us, like it's possible, it's possible. It doesn't matter which space you are sitting at right now, it is possible. Just get up and do it. If you want to do it, you can do it because it is absolutely possible.
Yeah.
So just like those 20,000 women from 1956, I mean, they marched to the Union building against all odds, like if they could do it under those circumstances back then, why can't you do it under these circumstances today? So if I could say anything to all these beautiful, beautiful women that we have here on the platform, I would just say it is possible. Just do it, believe in yourself, and yeah, so thank you so much and happy Women's Day to everyone.
Thank you, Olga. Oh my gosh, we thank God for your life. And guys, there's one thing I can tell you, and I'm not scaring any of those who are not yet mothers. This pregnancy thing, as natural as they say it is, it's not natural.
I actually said, you know what, for us who are pregnant, there has to be some sort of a social grant because wow.
For the trauma. Listen, I also had multiple complications with my pregnancies. I think the last one when I had my son, I mean, I was lying on this bed and even before they could take out the baby, just after the anesthetician. What are they called? What's the English one? That one.
Anesthetic.
Anesthetic.
You're wrong. It's anesthesiologist.
Yeah.
That one. Okay. But just after they had finished doing their part, the next thing my head was pounding. It was like they actually literally drilling into my head. And I said to my husband was still coming out of his clothes, you know, putting on the hospital robe. And then I said to him, baby, they're doing something to me. What is it? And he's like, babe, no one is even touching me. Like literally, it was like someone was drilling into my head. It was pounding. It was horrendous. It was just like so much drama. And needless to say, I had migraines 6 months after that. I still had migraines, and I had never in my life had migraines before. But I mean, there's so many things. I also had my uterus had to be repaired. Whilst I'm busy with this head thing, this doctor is taking so long. And I mean, I know my doctor, she's good at this. She's done it before with my other kids. And the next thing she was like, no, she had to repair my uterus first before she can actually close the wound. And then you're just like, okay, I think this is too much drama. I'm done. Gishap. So I am so glad you're okay. And I can tell you that, you know, we as women, we really do take a lot. We go through so much. And again, I said, we do have that inner strength that we should never ever use against ourselves, but only to keep pushing on where we feel like, you know what, I have to keep going. You know, we dig into that well of that inner strength that we have, but it is not a weapon for it to be used against us. It's for us. For me, it's what empowers us, you know, to live the lives that we want and to keep pushing on. And you know that story about not breastfeeding your baby. I mean, I write about this in Baked in Pain as well, where with my twins, they were born so early, they weighed 900 grams and the other one weighed 1,000 grams. And I couldn't touch them. I couldn't even like look at them for 8 days. I could look from afar, but I couldn't, you know, even touch them. And it is very disheartening, right? As a mom, but look at you now, look at you. Huh?
You know, you know, really, you even forget. I mean, like right now, I'm ready for the second one, and yet at the day, I was like, you know what? Yep.
You forget so quickly.
Yeah.
Well done, Olga. Tabile, we are on to you now.
Good day, ladies. Happy Women's Day. Happy Women's Month to us.
Yes.
I just want to share a piece that I wrote just to say that may we experience and appreciate moments of joy and fulfillment in our lives, in our daily lives, and not only appreciate ourselves in August or on the 9th of August.
Yep.
We need to learn to appreciate and find moments of joy in our lives on a daily basis, because like everyone has been saying, we go through a lot and we do so much.
Yes.
So this piece is titled Phenomenal She Is. Her suffering didn't begin at birth. Conception led to a world now forfeited. Continuous unbearable pain that would be barred for life. Swimmingly stroking through poisonous toxins, strength and strife reviving the revolutionary that is her. In grief and mourning, a relentless empathic fighter, the healer and comforter thrived. Through own unconditional support and unquestionable spoken silence, much was met. Even the Genesis notifies us. She was made to lead and educate, love and nurture. She is a bearer of the nation, a warrior. She has born men of stature and pride. All that is today good has come through her. Her devotion, motivation, demonstration of what is moral and good. She is a mediator. She inspires and instills values, truth, and human kindness. In dark times, she has held her head high, cried buckets full despite bloodlines to no one's visibility. She has ensured a soul so intact in her fighting spirit, and naturally, victory was achieved. Women, Black women, strong women, all women, from knitting and crocheting to high domestication then, Ma'am, also true to the community. From mother, friend, lover, sister to head of the nation, she's a great astute leader today. Ma'am, also true to the continent, Africa, is a powerful force in the many trials and tribulations of the day, brought by new complex troubles of today. But but she is phenomenal. Phenomenal, she is. We rise up. Let's continue to rise, ladies. Thank you.
I love it. That is so good.
Wow.
Are you a poet? Are you a writer?
I don't consider myself a poet, but I do write.
Okay.
I work as a researcher. But growing up, I was very reserved. So I found writing as a way to express myself better than vocally. So yeah.
Well, you know what? I love how you express yourself. you clearly don't need many words to be able to express yourself because you write them down. I love it. That was so powerful. Thank you so much, Tabi. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next one is Bunolo.
Hi, ladies. Happy Women's Day. Just a few thoughts on this day. Thank you so much, Amanda, for the opportunity. Just this Women's Day, for me, it's really been about reflecting and appreciating how far I've come and just my journey as a woman. Thank you, Tadile, as a phenomenal woman and as a daughter of the Most High God, as a wife, a mother, and a sister and a friend. And, you know, just looking back in the past 2 years when the lockdown started, I think some of these roles were very much neglected, especially like, you know, the wife bit, you know, I think I had really put my work before a lot of things and seeing it as a way of achieving my dreams. And I had put even my other roles, you know, at church first. And lockdown really helped me to, you know, find my feet again and just, you know, remember who I am and that, you know, some roles like being a wife and a mother, you know, I should be putting much more to them. And that when the time comes and I leave this earth, and that's been so evident with what we're seeing going around us, these are the people who, you know, they're gonna have to say something about me or hold on to the memories and experiences that we've had. And if I'm not spending time, if I'm not investing in these relationships, you know, it will be such a futile life. And, you know, it will just, I wouldn't have really lived according to me. So, and that was around the time that I actually started discovering you, Amanda, and also speaking to you. So for me, it was a good time because I was sort of feeling like I need a break, you know, and I kept on saying at work, I wish I could just go and leave. And everyone was like, why don't you go and leave? And I'm like, I can't, things will fall apart. But I really needed that to reflect, you know, to be home with my family and remind myself of these roles, these important roles that are quite important to me. And I even felt pregnant with twins. I remember reflecting with you.
You were making it up to him.
So I really got some good love during the first lockdown. And you know, I didn't know what this year had in store for me. Talk about difficult pregnancies. I told you with expecting twins, I went into labor at 5 months. And after 3 months, the babies were like 500 grams. After 2 months, lost one twin. This past weekend, one twin was only released now from hospital. So it's been quite a journey, but in all of this, you know, I've been doing Bonolo. If I'm not feeling well, if you know, I'm not up to taking calls, I just want to be in my space. You know, I've allowed myself to not even blame myself. At first, I used to think maybe, you know, I didn't do everything that I was supposed to do, you know, during the pregnancy. And, you know,
I got to a place where I didn't even want people to encourage me. I wanted to encourage myself because it was part of also discovering who I am. So just lastly, also look, reflecting on what lies ahead for me in terms of my journey, looking forward and planning, for what I still want to achieve. And yeah, but being very comfortable in my own skin as Bonolo, and I'm loving the space, the place where I'm at, and enjoying my baby. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Bonolo. That just warms my heart so much because I feel like I was a part of your journey, because we chatted quite a bit about it, and even when you still had the two babies and you were struggling with, they were struggling. And you still, were like, yeah, it's hard, but I'm doing my best, but to see you speak like this and speak from such a great place of power and strength, it's just such a heartwarming experience. God bless you. Okay.
Thank you, Amanda.
Oh, thank you, Bonolo. Asanda, where are you?
I am right here. Yes. So Mane, I'm gonna shoot my shots. If this doesn't work, it's okay. So I had a session with Umamuzi Pomaubani last week, and she opened my eyes to a few things.
Sephora, hey.
So, yes. Okay. So next year, I want to host my first women's summit, right? And I'd like to ask you to be one of the speakers at the summit.
I feel like I'm being emotionally blackmailed in public.
Oh, no, you can't say no. Because I did ask our audience online about they like to see Nendo Ezinjalo, and then they said Umamu Amanda. Guys. But yeah, we are presented with it. So I'm shooting my shot.
Let's stay chatting, okay? And then we'll work out when your summit is, what I'm doing, and that's my commitment. Is we will at least chat.
Okay, Mama. Thank you so much.
I think that should be a win already. Hey?
It is. It is.
I wish you all the best, hey Asanda. Go for it. Whether you get me or somebody else to speak, if your heart is in the right place, and then people will respond to it well. And the first one is always a testament. You'll only grow from there on. So yeah, I'll go for it. Yeah, she's on mute now. Bafunan Tulu.
Hi.
Is your name Tulu or
Bafunan? Bafunani, that's my name. Tulo. Can you hear me, guys?
Hello, Bafunani.
Hello, can you all hear me?
We can hear you. You look beautiful.
Okay.
You kept checking out your makeup. You look perfectly fine, my love.
Thank you very much. Ladies, I've been listening to all of you, and I'm taking every motivation, every inspiration, every word as part of learning for myself. So for me, this year, actually, in particular, Women's Day is mainly focused on myself. It's for personal development. It's something that I've been working on since last year, around September, because that's when I started my online store. So I worked through the store myself.
You started your online
website, my online
clothing store. Okay, what is it called?
It's B Fashion Style and Designs. B for Bafuna.
Style and Designs.
And Designs.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, during the process of working towards it, I realized, that's when I realized that personal development is actually crucial in anyone, and I went through it. And at this stage right now, I think I'm enjoying who I am and who I have become. Even though there's, trials and tribulations, but I'm enjoying that because for me, it's part of learning and it's good experience. Yes. And it's also part of growth. You are actually growing as a person. Yeah. More especially having these types of platform that you're giving us, Amanda, as well as you as a woman who is actually inspiring us. I've learned quite a lot with that. But what amazes me is that I've realized, Uguti, whenever you decide to be focused, yes, whenever you decide to grow as a person, because I think where I am, I'm at a point where I'm following my purpose and I'm enjoying it. It's something that I love. Fashion is what I love, actually. Once you don't sleep at night, which is something that happens on a daily basis, then you must know there's something there because you are always thinking such. But what is very interesting, and I find it very funny, is that during the process of the personal development, you lose quite a lot of people who maybe, the people who used to be friends. You lose them, and it's something that I'm observing. And I feel that it's unnecessary to raise it to them. It's not because I'm over distracted. I need to focus. But I notice that, and I'm thinking to myself, but is it how things, is it how things are happening? If I may ask you, Sis Amanda, it's like, okay, so I'm losing everyone. And when I'm losing those people, it comes across as, okay, now you think you are better, and like that, you cannot combat your mind with that. So I decide to stay away and focus because I'm working on being focused. Yeah. So it's difficult to having to try to explain to the next person, oh, why you're no longer hanging out with us? Why? And I have to explain, look, I've got platforms like this. I need to read. I need to focus on myself. So it's important to focus, to keep it focused, Yako. And personal development is very, very important. Yeah. And any advice going forward from you, Sis Amanda, and the rest of the beautiful ladies, I would really love to hear that. But I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I'm observing, and it's new to me. And I'm like, okay, but I enjoy what I'm doing. Yes. I don't think to sacrifice that to have to go back to the friends, but I'd rather keep to such platforms like this and associate myself with positivity that I'm seeing here. And I think that's basically it.
As I top myself up before I respond, what I'll tell you is welcome to your life.
I'm telling you, it's something else.
And I'm sure, I don't know if Alvina, you want to respond? Okay, let Alvina go first.
Thank you.
Okay, hi, Baflani.
Hi, sweetheart.
When you're moving into a different space in your life, right?
Yeah.
There is weeding that happens, even in any beautiful garden, right? And there's such a thing as seasons, right? And maybe that the seasons of these relationships are over. Not that they're bad or not that anything wrong happened, but maybe that season for that relationship or that friendship or whatever is over, right? And you're moving into this other space where, you're becoming a different person, or you're just improving yourself and you want to change certain areas in your life. And that's okay. So you shouldn't feel bad for like taking your time for improving yourself and doing the things that you want to do for yourself, right? Because the world will always make you feel guilty and make you feel bad for like, oh, now she's doing this. Oh, you think you're better because you're buying books and reading or whatever, that's them. And that's okay. They're not in that space. And that's totally fine. So you move with yourself, because you will always have yourself more than anything or anyone, you know. And if it takes you moving in silence and in violence, so be it. You move, you know. It's okay, because seasons come and seasons go. That season maybe is over. It may come back again later on, and you know, you might reconnect at a later point, and that's fine too, you know. But if this time is not it, don't feel guilty. It's just my point. Just don't guilt yourself in it.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you.
Thank you. I love that. And
I needed that.
I'll probably just add that if you, I worry about people who keep the same people for a long time. So it's great to have childhood friendships and stuff if you're all growing, you know, and you're all intellectually, you keep stimulating each other, or however your friendship works or what you want. And especially as women, but let's just put it out there, that especially for us women. Because I find that my husband most of my husband's friends are his childhood friends, but they're not deep. Like he'll just tell you, no, babe, you know, we get together, we don't even talk about deep stuff. We just hang out and eat meat.
And that's it.
Right. Whereas we seek something more. We need something more from our friendships, from our significant others, whoever they are, whatever the role they play in our lives. So, you know, people, there's a saying that says success is very lonely, because people are along the way. I personally think that success becomes lonely when you keep trying to hang on to people you should have lost along the way. Because it's not just the loneliness of you are alone. You can actually be with people around you who make you feel small because you think you're better than them, who make your dreams and your ambitions seem small, who want you to stay in the same place that they are. Remember, everybody loves company, right? So I think your success feels hollow and lonely if you keep hanging on to people and things you should not be hanging on to. And as Alvina said, you grow and seasons do change. And the growth is not just about you and the people, it's also your thought process. It's how you see the world. It's everything. I mean, I know when it's time to let go of people, because I often feel like I stick out like a sore thumb. Like whatever I say, it's we're no longer on the same wavelength, you know? And you know that it's time to bounce, and you should not feel guilty about that. People grow, people change. And if yours is to focus on building yourself and building whatever you're trying to build, you will find the right friends along the way too. In fact, you may even connect with your old friends along the way once they've found themselves too. So it is 100% correct. You must not feel guilty about that. It may be to break your heart, but please just give it a moment's energy and keep it moving, because there's plenty of fish in the sea. And I listen, I sometimes sound like I can be so dissociated. I can disassociate so easily from things. The truth is that we hang on to so much when we should be using that energy to pushing and better ourselves. And friends, the right friends will stick around. The right friends will not see that you are making yourself, you think you're better. The wrong ones, the ones who should fall by the wayside, will do. And remember also, you could also be on the receiving end where another friend feels like you and her or you and him are no longer at the same wavelength, so they can lose you too. So it's not just one way. It's just appreciating that people come and go, friends come and go. And the right ones will always stick around. The right ones will always stay. So we wish you all the best, eh?
Thank you very much, ladies.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Hi. I'm taking so many notes.
Luckily, I'm also recording this session. I'm sure when you guys saw that it was getting recorded. And then I will upload it on YouTube with your permission. I mean, only if you're comfortable. If you're not, then that's fine.
Yeah. All right. My name is Nelfi Mabida. And as I was, resonating on Women's Day, I think one of the things that really came to mind was
I recently I don't know if it's recent, it's been 2 years now. I don't know if we count last year as a year, but anyway. So yeah, it's been 2 years since I've been, in a leadership role in the workspace, and I've been facing a lot of challenges in terms of, getting support from people around me. And I think I sort of resonate a lot with what Bafunani was saying. One word that really changed my life is collaboration over competition as women. And that is something that we are lacking as women in the workspace, in so many spaces. I think there's a lot of, we compete against each other. Yes, we want to change the narrative. Yes, we want to fight against GBV. Yes, we want to make a difference in the society, but it needs to start with us. You can't fight a man if you're still fighting against each other. So there's so much power in collaboration. That is one thing we need to learn from the women that came before us, the women that, set the bar to the limit. They did everything possible to secure a brighter future for us. So it's so key, it's so important that we collaborate as women. And yeah, so all the challenges I've been facing in the workspace have really brought me to a place where I think I'm ready to actually write a book about leadership. Yes, it's been 2 years, but I've been in the corporate space for a couple of years. I'm 32. I've been working for over 9 years. I don't have children. I'm just, living my best life. And I think this is the right time for me to share keys, steps on how to really handle, emotions in the workplace. All these simple things that we take lightly, they're so important for us to do better and be better people, to support the young girls that are yet to come in the workspace, because it's a lot. I mean, you get in a workspace, you get a leadership position, and you realize, damn, I'm still dealing with the things that I went through as a young girl. I'm still dealing with the things that my mom or my dad put me through. And it's only now that they're coming up because you put in a platform where now you're under pressure. Now you need to react in a certain way, but you haven't dealt with the things that you went through as a child. So those are the things that I've been really reflecting on. It's amazing to connect with all of you. I love you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, Nelfi. It is true that we are dealing with so much. We carry so much, and we also have to be dealing with our lives, right? And unfortunately, you can't separate yourself from that. Is your life. So you take the baggage and you deal with it, and you look forward to the now and the future. I must say that thank you, Nelfi. Guys, I'm horrendous with admin, and why I insist on doing things myself all the time is still beyond me, guys. I must tell you that. I had meant to stream this live when we started to YouTube, and I forgot. I'm sorry. I am so sorry, but I've just started streaming it live, and I am 100% happy to stay an extra hour. I will also upload this on YouTube, so the people that are watching on the channel, apologies. I didn't even have Banele ping me and remind me to stream it live to YouTube, because I'm sure he's living his best life. So Banele helps me with Vastly Sage social media stuff. So okay, and then he did ask me though, because this is what's important to Banele. He asked me that you ladies can post your looks and post whatever content you've created or taken, and please use the hashtag Women's Day with Amanda and tag Vastly Sage so that we can interact with you even offline. Yeah, so that's one of the things that I do. I don't want to call it a struggle, but I am a person that is so used to doing things by herself. I've always had to work hard and do things myself. So the first place I always go to is myself before I look to other people to do things for me. As a result, I'm always like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have been doing this to begin with. but I love to laugh at myself. I love to actually, and you said it, Nelfi, that we're constantly dealing with things that you may have struggled with in your past with your parents and etc. I grew a work ethic from childhood that says I only rely on myself. only I have full control of my destiny. And in fact, it shows up in everything I do. For some people, I'm too strong, I'm too independent. That's why I married my boo, guys. My dude was like, yo, when I so independent, I want you because I don't want admin. He was like, you're the one I'm after. I'm not threatened by anything that you are. In fact, he even said to me, you remind me of my mother. My mother-in-law is 82 this year, lives by herself, fully independent. And so you know, I am that person. And yes, sometimes then I forget things like click live stream to YouTube, but it's okay. We'll make up for it. I also don't have a PA. I recently started working with my sister-in-law, Amanda Dambuza. She's the business manager. Catherine is not my PA, but Catherine helps me when I'm just like, okay, I actually think I now really can't do this myself anymore. Please help me. And then she'll pick up and do some of my work. When I say work, like she'll help me manage my life a bit better, my work life a bit better, and even personal life. I'm so blessed to have her. She's a little sister to me. So she's that person that, you know, things that I am not used to, where you can call a family member to help you with something. So, you know, it's we get blessed, and I think we've got support all around us if we just look, you know. And one of my best friends, Lillian, is literally fighting for her life as we speak, and I feel it's important to mention her. She's also one of those people in my life who literally, you know, I don't remember a time when I needed her and she wasn't there. And I also don't remember a time when, you know, I didn't even need her, but she was there. And these are the women in our lives who make our lives better, who help to take some of the pressure off of us. And you know, we will continue to, you know, as our hearts ache, as, you know, as we give glory to God, because even it can be any of us, you know, we've lost loved ones. Some of us have been sick, you know, so we just have to be continuously grateful, but fight those things that we carry inside of us. And I cannot promise that I'm not gonna keep doing my things, but you know, I can promise that when I need support, I've got support. And this is very important. I think before we go to Nelfi and Bafunani, can you drop your hands, please? Thank you. So before we go to Lelo, do you think we should take a music break, or go with Lelo and then music break? You can unmute yourselves and speak all at the same time. I'll hear you, I promise.
And we can go with Lelo.
I've never had my name shouted so loud by so many powerful women. Amazing ladies. I've never had my name shouted so much by so many powerful women. Firstly, I just want to say thank you, Sis Amanda, for this platform. We are to have connections with so many women in different parts of the world. So happy Women's Day, ladies. So for me, I think takeaways, really, it's perfect imperfection. To power as women. Yes,
we keep
full role to play.
We keep losing you.
And I'll phone in again. I'll just plug in again. We can take a break.
We can hear you now. We can hear you.
For me, takeaways are perfect imperfections. That's been because we tend to also give so much of our power away. Yeah.
We've now
we can be able
completely, my love. Okay, Lelo, maybe just dial back in, okay, my love. We've lost you completely. It sounds like you were gonna say some amazing things, so
yes.
So come back, please.
Right.
All right, I think whilst we give Lelo a breather, let's play that song now. So I think we should go to what is now one of my new favorites. No, but let's switch it around and do Shekinah. You got Shekinah there? Yeah, you good? Shall we get going with it? Okay, one moment. Hey, nice one, ladies. Nice one. I love it. Show of hands for all those people who dance when they're at home and dance like no one is watching.
Yep. I feel it's pretty evident who those culprits are right now.
Here we are.
I love it. I absolutely love it because we absolutely have to do what it takes to release all of the tension, you know? And I think a lot, are you sweating?
It's getting real with the drink as well.
But it's so important that we find some outlet, whatever that outlet is, and not be ashamed of it, You know, it's not always for public consumption. I post my dances because, well, not all of them because I'm always dancing, but I post them because I want to
always, yes.
I want to strip down this notion that because you're a mother, you're a wife, you're a business person, you are this, therefore you don't do, you shouldn't do, you know. So hey, babe. I was so hot. Oh, sorry, guys. All right, I'm back. My husband just walked in and he's looking like a...
Oh, you're sweating as well.
Yes, I'm sweating. Looking like a woman's face neck. Thank you so much. But yeah, the point is that, you know, we must find some way of just an outlet, because things can get, it can be a lot. So let's go to Akona. Hi, Akona.
Hi, Amanda.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Really good, really good.
Wow, thank you for this platform. Yeah, and your dances really, they do help. On Friday, quite such a slow day, and just watching you get it on, it kind of got me into mood, eh? And it shows how connection, even in the virtual space, can be.
Yeah.
So thank you. Hi, ladies. Yeah, thanks, Amanda, for all that you do. It's been a year now that I've been following you. And yeah, I mean, from buying the book, reading your story, yeah, it's a profound thing to share our journeys and our experiences with other people, because it might mean something to someone. We don't have to be in the physical space to really share and learn from each other. So thank you. Thank you for this. Hi, ladies. I am joining from cold and chilly Port Elizabeth, aka Kabeja. That's now what we...
Yes.
That's it. So I thought for just maybe party almost to part of, I gave a talk last week to a group of corporate ladies. And I thought maybe the ladies in this group might also sort of be enriched by that. Just a small, in terms of what I shared with them. So I talked about the scarf. Now, it was a very serious topic because if we know a little bit of neuroscience, there's a scarf model that was coined by a guy called David Rock, right? So the scarf talks to the neuroscience aspect of our brain, especially when it comes to social traits and social rewards, and how our brain can impact us. Because of course, if it's a trait, it's that, you know, freeze or flight or fight approach. But when we use our ability and control our own brain, we are able to go more toward the reward state. Now, if you look, for example, at what's been happening 2 years later, we're still struggling with COVID and its impact to our life. So from a threat space, there's been so many threats for us, especially as women. A lot of women have lost their jobs. We know in South Africa, 56.2% of the workforce is women. So with all the restructuring, with all the job cuts, it's been women. We have gender-based violence. We have inequality. We've got the gender inequality in terms of the pay gap. So there's a lot on the threat side that we are faced with. However, it requires for us to really concentrate and manage ourselves by focusing on more the reward side of it. Going there, firstly, self-compassion is a great thing. We give compassion to other people, but rarely do we give it to ourselves. Yes, we talk about self-care, but sometimes when we talk about self-care, it's almost from the outer space, whereas self-compassion comes from, you know, giving myself a hug, like I would reach out to someone else. Looking at our mindset, right? I had a lady talking about the impact our childhood and our inner child has got on us. our mindset, looking at that. So I use that analogy of this model, which is the scarf model. S stands for status, C stands for certainty, A talks for autonomy, R stands for relatedness, and F stands for fairness. Now, if you look at what's been happening with COVID specifically, but generally in life, our scarf has been threatened. And we need to then look, for example, for me, what's been triggered for me in terms of my scarf has been the certainty. I'm always one person who wants to have some sort of certainty. And it's one thing I didn't have during this period. And it frustrated me a lot up until I realized I need to move. I need to regulate my brain to move from that limbic reacting space. I need to move part of my brain where I drive myself towards situation. And I mean, one of those things has been following you, Amanda, looking at your clips, looking at your dancing videos, and it puts me in a good mood. So the scarf, although it's a serious topic like that, I related it to a scarf. You know, we ladies know how our scarves can make us look good. Now I'm talking about the square triangle cloth, whether it's silk, whether it's wool, that I'll use to keep myself warm or to make myself look attractive, or that outfit to look attractive, or just to shelter me from the draft, from the cold. So the analogy that I used was to really look at our scarves and really, when it's needed, and it's really quite needed, to use our scarves to shelter ourselves, whether we're going to use it to brighten that outfit or put it on as a doek. But look at that meaning from the simplistic meaning of a scarf, but then look at it deeper by looking at the scarf model as a neuroscience, a leadership approach, and utilize it to really help ourselves to balance, to carry on and to feel empowered, especially more so even today, but going forward. So that was just a little bit that I wanted to share with the ladies today that I gave as a talk for another corporate group. And I hope, I mean, obviously this is something that you look into, research it, and determine for yourselves. You know, sometimes our circumstances are different. What works for you doesn't work for me. And sometimes as ladies, we want to emulate other people and lose authenticity. So for me, it's about looking at your circumstances and use it in the way that best works for you. Yes, have a wonderful day further and the rest of the year. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. I also took that down. And I think what I'm also taking from you, it is so true about self-compassion, because, you know, when you talk about self-care, people think, oh, it's just, you know, let me do my nails, let me scrub the dirt under my nails, let me do my hair. It can be so superficial and so outward. And it's perfectly fine if that is what you want, but what we'll probably wish for more is that you go deeper, and that you go deep inside of who you are and start to learn about yourself and therefore embrace yourself. So Lelo is back. Let me quickly take Lelo first before Lebogang and Nonbabalone. Lelo?
Amazing. Thank you very much. Is the sound better now?
Yes, much better. And you were at imperfections.
Yes. So this for me, it means that we've got powerful roles to play as ladies. So we're not designed to be perfect.
Yeah.
However, we tend to give our power away. So I'm just going to ask the ladies not to outsource your power. It's yours to take. It's yours to control. So be aware of this and take control.
Yeah.
And of course, what is important is also, because I've had most of these hunting circles that they're around, also impacts your life. So be aware of the people that you keep around you, because we tend to run a risk of giving this power away. As a result, we give the power to the circles or the people that are in the circles that we walk across. So take that power back, because you're in that circle to play a role. You're not there to be a spectator. You're there to play a role. So feed off on the people that are around you, because they're designed to be to support you in this way. But if they're not providing the support that you require, then they shouldn't be part of your circle.
Correct.
And of course, be in control of your destiny. I like that statement that you made earlier on, because that just means that we have to face our lives head on. Whether it comes with pain, face that pain head on, because you're going to take away power from that pain. When it comes with good things, you're going to take power from those good things. So just be in control of your life and be in control of your circumstances and be your true self. And that's it.
Absolutely. I love it. Thank you, Lelo. Thank you so much. And I mean, listen, I don't even have anything to add. It's so cool. Lebohang, shall we go to you? We can't hear you. All right, Nolbabalo will come to you now because Lebohang is not there.
Ladies, I am so grateful to be a part of this platform. I don't have much to say, but I just wanted to say that I've taken so much from each and every lady who has shared something today, and I've realized that we all go through so much. Sometimes you go through stuff and you think it's just you.
Yeah.
And now I realize that we are all going through so much and we're handling things differently. So going forward, I'm actually realizing that I'm going to stop being the strong one. I'm just going to go out there and do me and try to live the best life that I can and just take control of my life. So thank you so much, Amanda, for this platform. Thank you, ladies, for sharing. I mean, I'm sure we've all learned from each and every person's experience. So thank you and happy Women's Day.
Thank you, Novagalo. Thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate that. Lebohang, are you back? Lelo and Noel Babalo, please drop your hands. Okay, I'll go to iPhone. I don't know who iPhone is.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
My name is Jolina to start with. Thank you so much, Amanda. And it's really a blessing to be able to speak on this platform. I've been following you for some time, and I'm really inspired by the woman you are.
Thank you.
And what I would like to say today on a Women's Day, I'm very proud of South African women. I'm actually from the DRC. I've been here for more than 10 years. Nice. Sometimes you don't realize how much you have done for women because you're in a society that has fought so much for women's rights and women being able to reach certain things and achieve certain things. You might think this is the reality of every woman in Africa. But I can tell you and I can assure you, South Africa has gone a long way on women's rights, on women's being able to express themselves, on women being able to showcase themselves, on women being able to reach every level of society. And for me, it's really like I'm becoming like a spokesperson of my own people to show them that, you know what, the way we do things, it's not only the only way, because somewhere else things are done in a different way. Yeah. Women have fought so much to be able to, like for instance, being able to buy a land and build a house and still feel like, okay, I'm a woman, I can be married to a man, but being able to do things and being acknowledged for it. I don't need to be always behind a man. When I do something, it has to be acknowledged as my doing, not as me, as a wife of somebody, you see. Yeah. But I'm saying that, okay, thank you so much, South Africa, because you are equipping a lot of women. And I think the narrative of Africa is to change. And I think, Amanda, we're chatting sometimes. I know you're chatting with a lot of people, but if you go back to your Instagram, you'll see that we chat a lot. The narrative of women has to change in Africa. Yeah. Women has to become more together. They have to love each other. They have to compete with each other, but they have to build each other.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Oh man,
Thank you so much
Selena, we really
for allowing me to say that.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate that, Jolina. I think it actually is such a it's so heartfelt when women from other societies actually tell us and give us the feedback, because you know the one thing about South Africa is we are constantly fighting. it's an endless fight every day. Every day it's a struggle for something, you know. So we are so used to being, we are quite militant in a way, but it is so beautiful when we get the feedback of what our hard yards do for other women, and I think we do take for granted sometimes, because we are so, South Africa is incredibly insulated. We are at the bottom of Africa. Literally everything is like we in this bubble that we don't always stick our head up and see. Yeah, absolutely. And see what other women around the continent are suffering or having to deal with. If we do, it's occasional, because we are so inward looking, because we've got so many problems here and we're trying to fight those. So it's wonderful to hear what we do represent to others. And pretty much like, you know, some of us who are quite aware of some of the hard work that women are doing across the continent and across the globe. So we really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Selena. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello. And let me ask you to unmute, my love.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Hello.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Happy Women's Day, ladies. From me, Amanda, it was just to say, I really appreciate you. I appreciate these platforms. I mean, my husband was saying the other day, you know, as women, we are very privileged that we have such platforms, because with men, it's really very few of such platforms that they have. They don't get such opportunities to engage with other women. I mean, every Sunday, I wait and for you to cook and look forward to that. I mean,
sometimes I'm like, I'm not cooking. I don't feel like talking. I'm cooking,
Yes,
but I don't feel like talking.
So the other day did oxtail and I had to go back to the video and check, okay, what did she put, you know? And I did that for my family. So we really, really appreciate you, Amanda. And I mean, for me, one thing that I reflected on today is not to shy away from raising up your hand. You know, I know today it's an opportunity really for me to be here, because when you posted this, it was late when I saw it. I just saw when it was like full, right?
Yes.
And then I sent a message today, this morning, to say, please don't forget to share the live on a stream on YouTube. And for the fact that you forgot to do that, I'm grateful, because I sent to Vasley Sage as well. And they then sent me in response the link to join this, you know. So, I mean, for the fact that you forgot, because if you didn't forget, then I would have just watched on the YouTube live stream. But because you forgot, it gave me an opportunity to be here, you know. And while I was waiting, I was praising, you know, I was worshiping and singing, praising the Lord, and the message came through, and I was so excited. I quickly logged on and join this. So really, Amanda, I'm looking forward to one day meeting you in person. I would really love to meet you in person one day. So thank you, and happy Women's Day to everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You see, faith moves things, eh? I love it. Thank you so much, Mutke. I really appreciate that. And
Amanda. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And to all those people who are watching live on YouTube now, thank you so much. I promise I promise to upload this entire recording. I hope it will allow me. So we are due to end at 1 o'clock, but I'm happy to extend, and then I'll do my closing remarks if you are happy. Lorato 113, just raise your hand electronically, my love. I can see you're waving.
Able to.
So let me allow, Jolina, you can drop your hand. Let me allow Marian to say something. And then
Okay.
Lerato 113, I'll come to you, okay?
Thank you.
All right, my love. Marian?
Hello, everyone. My name is Marianne B. Chepkemoi. Yes, I come from East Africa, specifically Kenya. I am 20 years old. I'm very, very happy and delighted to be part of you all. I knew Amanda from Mpumi Ledwaba. I follow Mpumi on Instagram, and I also watch her. I watch her YouTube. I got to know you, Amanda, through the podcast that you were on her podcast. Yes, and I was really blessed by your contribution that day, and then I also followed you on Instagram. I also got to know about today's meeting on Pumi's story on Instagram. So I'm really, really delighted to be part of you all. I have really, really been enriched. Thank you so, so much. I also think that whatever you guys are facing I think it cuts across all ages, because I remember Bafunani talking about friends, some of our friends leaving your life at some point. I think I'm struggling with that at the moment. My best friend and I are distant, and I can't understand why, but I think it's something natural. I think as we all grow, we change, and maybe we adopt different priorities, and at times the drift just comes about naturally. Yeah. And also in law school, I'm in third year. I'm joining third year next semester. Yes. And I'd like to begin a business. I want to begin a business, a bag business. So maybe even as you make your closing remarks, Amanda, maybe you can advise me on how to start up well, what I should do and what I shouldn't do. And happy Women's Day to you all. We don't celebrate, today is not Women's Day in Kenya. Yeah. But I'd like to wish you all a happy Women's Day. And please do pass my regards to Mpumi, Amanda, when you talk to her. Thank you so much.
I will do. Absolutely will do. She would have joined us, but she's out of town and doing a speaking engagement as we speak. So I will do that. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And what you are experiencing are just growing pains, honestly. And you will see that you gain even better friendships the older you get and the more you experience your life. So the sadness of life is that sometimes we do have to let go of some people, and the let go is either we feel we need to let go of them, or they let go of us, and we can't keep hanging on to them. So you'll definitely be okay. And the question around starting a business or starting up, it's actually such a it's a very broad subject that I wouldn't do any justice to on this platform. But I think I did do I tackled it on one of the mentorship sessions on Vastly Sage YouTube. But the one thing I can say as women, which is outside of the technicalities of starting up, the one thing I can 100% say is you want to start right from the beginning, because it is hard to change some of the things that are fundamental in any business or in any startup. So let me give you an example. You want to get the basics, like your logo right, like what you stand for right, because those are some of the things, the stationery for your business. As basic as those things are, but that is what introduces your business to the world. And in fact, what you want to do is also be able to not try and build whatever business you are getting into, understand why you're getting into it, because this is fundamental to sustaining you throughout the hard times and enabling you to observe and celebrate the great times. So it's always about why are you getting into that business? And I might be coming from a very different school of thought, but I'm not a person that believes you must get into business just to make money. Because first of all, you get into business and money doesn't come immediately. And a lot of people can get very desperate and start going after the wrong kind of business. So when you start to understand why you are starting a business, what problem are you trying to solve, then you start to craft your thoughts and your actions along that path. And I was having this conversation with my husband this morning. And okay, let me give you a little TMI. Okay, we took a shower together today.
It's been a long time. So he was about to take a shower and I walked in and I said, you know, when we were dating, we used to shower together. My husband and I only dated for like 7 months, guys, and we were married within the year. That by that very next year we were married. So every time I say when we were dating, I make it sound like it was 4 years of dating. Like it wasn't that long. So I'm like, you know, when we used to date, we would take a shower together, just chat. And he's like, yo, we used to, I'm like, and he said to me, "Hey, this is why, baby, I designed such a big shower so that we can shower together." I'm like, okay, there's my chance. I walked in there. And we just had this conversation and we were chatting about, you know, business and struggles and some of the things that we are encountering in business. And the one thing you never want to be in any kind of business is desperate. You never want to be in a position of desperation because people will take advantage of you. And two, you will compromise your personal values. And you know, the conversation was along the lines of how proud we are of the decisions that we continuously make in our respective businesses. Because I mean, my husband is a successful businessman in his own right, and we encounter different challenges. And the point is that whatever the reason was when you started, whatever your personal values are, that is what you must translate into business, and know that it's not business at all costs. So when people are just into business for money, they'll end up compromising themselves because they just want the money. So if it is to solve a real problem, and I find that purpose-led businesses that are driven by purpose, driven by making a change in society or changing people's lives or making people's lives slightly easier in some shape or form, those have got legs, they've got longevity, they last longer. So I don't know what your reasons are, but that's what I can offer. But please do watch some of the things that I've posted on Varsity Sage, and ask your friends to subscribe. It's free and you can watch it whenever you want. But also, you know, the other thing is that, and forgive me, I'm just gonna, let me just do this quickly. I'm just gonna put my earphones because my crew is now jumping on the trampoline and that's gonna be chaos. So you know, it's really about what are you after and what are you trying to build. And maybe let me close this by saying, right from the onset, be clear about, are you just wanting to get into business to create a job for yourself, or are you wanting to build a business and build a big business? Because that's so important. How you go about it from the start is very different. So some people leave their jobs or leave their corporate jobs because they want to own their time, they want to, you know, get away from the politics, and soon realize that all they wanted to do was to create a job for themselves. But then the job for themselves came with admin, it came with marketing, it came with getting the business, it came with, oh, I'm the delivery person, but I'm also expected to do proposals, but I'm also expected. So all of the things that in your job you think, you know, and let me rephrase, when people move on from their jobs, and I mean, you're still studying, so I think you've got a great opportunity to not repeat these kinds of things. But when people leave their jobs, their corporate jobs, to start businesses, they don't really think thoroughly about, are they leaving to start a business and build a big business or build a business, or are they just going to create a job for themselves? Because the two, you know, are completely different, and how you go about it from the onset is completely different. So I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you.
My pleasure. All right. So I think, I mean, it would be ridiculous of me not to say a couple of words before we close off our session. But really, from the deepest point in my heart, I just want to thank you. I mean, my as I said, one of my best friends is very ill, and it would have been easy for me to say I can't do this session because I just can't. But the truth is that I know exactly what she would say to me. It's almost like she's in my ear all the time. I know that the one thing she would tell me is, babe, you gotta keep going. And she's one of those people who always reminded me that there is nothing on this earth that should stop what God has put on your path. So you know, I want to lift her up in prayer. And you know, as I did with my husband when he was gravely ill, for me, I can pray, I can wish the best. God's will is God's will, and none of us can stand in the way. You know, I often think about the difference between those who have survived, those who haven't lost their loved ones, even though they were ill, and those who have lost their loved ones. It's not because your prayer was stronger than other people's prayer. God hears all our prayers the same. It's just that when people's jobs are done on this earth, their jobs are done, and none of us can stand in the way. So as much as our hearts ache and we keep losing loved ones, our loved ones are going to lose us. It's so important that we live in the moment and remember, you know, the good things and the memories that our loved ones have equipped us with, because when it's all said and done, that is what we hang on to. And you know, as women, for me, it's a, you know, I remember I spoke at the World Economic Forum in Cape Town. Well, it seems like a million years ago now, but I think that was 2019. And you know, I was speaking on behalf of MasterCard, and one of the topics was really around, you know, women and the emancipation of women and what that will come with, what that means across Africa. And we cannot see any emancipation of women if women continue to be financially dependent on their significant others. So as women, whether you are a mother or you're an aunt, or you play a mother figure to somebody somehow in some shape or form, be it today or in the future, the point is that we have got to be enabling and equipping the next generation of women to not be dependent on anyone. And Pindi said it earlier, you know, there are so many reasons why women stay in abusive relationships, and it does not help the situation that you are dependent on somebody financially. So if there's one thing I really fight for in my life, is that we have a significant chunk of the next generation of young women not dependent on anybody for anything, and to seek the necessary support and companionship on their own terms, not because they've been told this is what it should be because you're a woman. Because then I believe that the work that the women, the 20,000 women of 1956 did in South Africa would go down to waste if we as this generation do not pass on what is the right message for the next generation. And every single generation has its fight. I really truly believe that our generation is about economic emancipation of women. And we fight that not just in how we enable the next generation, but in what we also leave behind for our children, because it is everything. It is everything. So as I close, I just want to thank you so much for spending your time with me. I mean, I know you could have done other more exciting things. I don't know what that is, but I mean, but I really appreciate it. I want to honor you, and I will make my closing remarks now on top of what I've just said. So if you're okay, stick around. I want to share a few things. So I do think that as women, we must carve out and decide what is our role in society. And it is not something that we can leave to chance or leave to others. It is something that we have to decide for ourselves. And it is quite a personal thing. It is not a collective thing. It is not a by vote, by consensus. It is between you and your God, whatever you believe your God is. It is, what is your role? Why do you believe you were brought on this earth and brought as a woman? Because I mean, we can't talk for other people, we can only talk for ourselves. Is what is it that you strongly believe that God brought you here for? And as women, we have got to keep being driven from a place of purpose. And let me please offer that if you haven't figured out your purpose, it doesn't mean you are less of a human being. It doesn't mean you are not woke. It doesn't mean you are not trending. It doesn't mean anything except that you just still need to listen to that voice inside of you. It still means you need to be rising above the noise that you face every day. It simply means that you need to find some quiet space where you can start to listen to your thoughts. Find out who you are, where you've come from, and how those things show up in your everyday life. Because ultimately, if you don't have that, you will not be able to find your purpose. There is no room for purpose if you haven't found yourself. So at the top of the purpose list should be you. Should be you. You are the purpose. Purpose number one is you. Because there's nothing else around you that will unfold if you have not unfolded, if you have not evolved and got a better understanding of who you are. So you know, we might be facing a lot of adversity. We might be, and our levels of adversity are different. It's multiple different things for multiple different people. But adversity is adversity nonetheless. It means it is there to test you. But strength and character is not built when we are busy chilling by the beach, sipping on some good adult stuff, which Marion shouldn't. You know, so it's built on those hard times. It's built on experiencing the hard times. It's built on coming out on the other side of the hard time and saying, whoa, gee whiz, what was that? But I'm still here, right? And I think so many of us have attested to that today, to say, we go through so much, but the one thing we always fall short of as women is celebrating ourselves every single day. And somebody already said it. It can't just be in August. I think it was Alvina, somebody. It can't just be in August. It has got to be every single day of our lives, because we get to take the pressure, we get to mediate, we get to be the go-between, we get to take the punches for so many people, for so many causes, for so many things. We get to use our voice. And I just want you to know today that your voice matters. It doesn't matter whether you've got a title or you don't have a title, or you think you have social standing or you don't have social standing. It doesn't matter how many likes you think you'll get using your voice. Use your voice, because your voice matters. And if you start quietening your voice, unfortunately, what you are doing is also showing the ones coming behind you that they must remain silent. And we cannot do that. But let's also be very strategic about the fights that we take, the fights that we pick, because whatever we do, we should be using our energy to enable the best success. So we must pick up the things and the fights and the battles that we know we stand a really good chance of succeeding in. And I'm not talking about dismantling patriarchy. The only way you can dismantle patriarchy is to do it at home. How you are raising your children, how you are talking to your nieces and your nephews, how your children, you know, somebody asked me today how your children perceive you. Somebody asked me today on one of my story, on one of my posts, they asked me who takes my videos. My children take my videos when I'm dancing. Okay, sometimes I do it myself because I got a selfie stick. Okay, I've learned a few things. So you know, the selfie stick has it's like a tripod thing. You can balance it, and you know, then you can trim. Hey, I've learned. So you know, but the reason why I have my children take my videos is because my children have front row seats to who their mother is. There is no filter. There's no one in between. They know that mother kills it in the boardroom. Mother is a great mom. Mother is here when I need her, but mother also has a great time. She enjoys herself. She enjoys her life. She enjoys who she is. And I think that there's no better example that we can set for the ones coming behind us than to live our truth. But if we constantly want to water down our truth so that we make others feel comfortable, then it's a problem. And I think it was Bafunani who said, you know, not Bafunani, Pindi, who said, you know, the women that she trusted were the ones that are going to support her, are the ones that exposed her. The truth is that we cannot expect to change around us if we do not change ourselves, if we ourselves do not stand up and say, I'm going to be your champion as another sister, that I'm going to champion your cause even when I don't know the facts. The fact that you are a woman and you have told me you need my support, I'm going to do that. But again, let's give it to, let's support those in our ecosystems, because that's where it starts. It's pointless being everything to everyone and never to ourselves and those closest to us. It's pointless being celebrated out there and never actually having our own children celebrate us, because then I think we may have missed the mark. But whatever your mark is, please find it, because that's what matters in life. Because that is what you then keep your eye on. You keep your eye on what your mark is. And I must say that, you know, it's you belong at the table that you're at. You belong there. So many people fought for you to be at the table, whatever your table is. So many people gave up their lives, gave up, they courageously got out of their comfort zones and said, I'm going to fight for the next generation, because this is not fair, it is not just. So you cannot give up your seat so easily. Do not give up your seat so easily. Do not give up your power so easily. Even when it looks like it's the easiest thing to do, seek the support of other women and say, I am struggling with this. What can you help me with? Don't all run to Amanda, please. Like, let me just add it in there. I sometimes may or may not respond. I do my best to respond to every single message. But what I'm saying is, let's spread the support. The more of us support each other, the more we feel like we are part of the collective. So it's so important to not forget that you've got a wide network of women that will support you. And I'm not a person that slates or speaks badly about men. Guys, we're all brought up in the same society. Okay. If there's anything we have a complaint about society, it is all of our doing. It is all of our doing. There isn't one that did it and the other received. So we have got to be so conscious about how we come across to our own children who are boys, our own significant others who are boys, and whatever whatever your circumstances at home, it is about choosing how you fight the battle. And my only wish in life is that we don't leave anyone behind. And I've got the great gift of raising both boys and girls, and I always look at them, and there's no way that my boys are gonna get left behind. There's no way that my girls are gonna get left behind, because I have to make sure that when I'm gone, whatever adults I would like to see roaming the streets, they become that, or at least I've enabled that, even if it's just in their thought process. So find your voice, it matters. You belong at that seat, and don't give up your seat so easily, because unfortunately, you can never guarantee that you'll get the next seat. However, hang on to the one you have. If you feel like it's a seat you want to give up for whatever reason, I hope it is not because you're giving it up because you're a woman and it's too hard. I hope that you know that there's a collective of women who are going to consistently support you, and find the champions who are men who will support your cause too, because sometimes you gotta maneuver the system through the very people that you're trying to get on the other side, right? So you gotta be strategic, and that is something that women have in abundance, but we like to keep it hidden, and we use it for minuscule things and petty nonsense, to be honest. So let's use it for the things that really matter, like changing the landscape, because that's really where we need it the most. And I want to say that, you must not stereotype yourself. You shouldn't really be thinking, I'm a woman, therefore, because already you've stereotyped yourself. You've already told yourself that things are not going to work well for you because you're a woman, and you're a Black woman, and you are this, and you're this. That level of thinking does not get you to a successful place, whatever your success is. So it's about thinking that, first of all, I've got this seat and I deserve it, whether I have a title or I don't, whether I come from a big name or I don't. My voice matters, and it matters because God put me on this earth, and God gave me a voice. And therefore, no other human being should decide that my voice is not enough. And I hope that we never let go of that. You know, things do get hard, but catch your breath if you need to. Catch your breath. Take some time out. It's okay. If there's one thing that is okay, it is that. It is this thing where you know when you feel like the walls are closing in, it's okay to say, I need to get out of these walls because I feel like they're closing in. It is okay to not be perfect. Even if the first women that are judging you, the first people judging you in your circle are your very fellow sisters, aunts and mothers. It is okay to actually go against them and say, it's fine. I actually don't need your opinion. And she said it, who was it? Who said, Lulam, who said, you know, we keep wanting people's opinions and we keep consulting on everything that we do. Remember, that is how our mothers were brought up, and they have transferred that to many of us. But we know that doesn't work for us. We know that that's not serving us. That will not serve our children, that you constantly have to be seeking permission to just be yourself. So trust your voice inside. I really believe that that is God talking to us. And it's not a religion thing. It's just a faith thing. It's just a spiritual thing. It is you and your God having this conversation around what is right for you and what is not. So if you're constantly doubting what should be the only truth in your life, then you probably have a real challenge. So whilst I say we must catch our breath and we must be vulnerable, we must be all these things, please let's also understand that feeling sorry for ourselves is not going to solve anything. So we gotta feel what we need to feel, but pity on ourselves is something that's not going to move us forward at all. So let's leave the feeling sorry for myself. Oh, I was born a girl, so the world is against me. Everything is against me. I can never get anything right. Look how many other things you've been getting right, and you've never even stopped to tell yourself that, girl, oh, you got this, you keep going, you know, because it's easier to keep self-criticizing, to keep demeaning yourself, because that's what you've been told women should be. Women cannot be ambitious. Women should not be out there trying to build careers and businesses. Women should be at home cooking. Hey, I'm behind the stove because I choose to, because I love it. That's it. Nobody tells me I must cook. You know, nobody tells me I must wear a skirt. Nobody tells me I must cross my legs. When I wear my hot pants, I'll show those buttocks and I will dance. Okay, so if somebody has a problem with it, they can keep moving. Keep it moving. I don't need your opinion because you did not birth me here. Not even the person that gave birth to me. I don't even take their opinion into account unless it suits me, unless it is what I need to deal with. So ultimately, we keep worrying so much about our people's opinion on us, of us. I mean, I even had some creature of a human being text me and saying, slide into my DMs. Sorry, let me use the right language. They slid into my DMs and said to me, you know, with you dancing, you're trying a bit too hard. There's no dignity in what you're doing as a woman and a mother. First of all, I gave it to them, as you can imagine, before I blocked them. And I was just like, actually, this is exactly what happens. Some men think they've got rights over your body, even when they don't even know you, right? They think they've got rights over who you are, even when they don't know you. Now, I really feel sorry for the people that have to deal with those people every single day. But ultimately, it doesn't matter what your situation is. You just need to pick what your fights are. Never, ever, ever shrink yourself because you're a woman. Never, ever. And I am all about fighting norms. I'm all about fighting these everyday narratives that we were brought up with, because ultimately they're not serving us. But remember, every generation has their script. Every generation has their narrative. It is up to us to decide what it is about our generation that we're going to pass on to the next, that we can look back and say, I am really proud I did that. And I doubt it's going to be telling girl children to sit down and not voice out their opinions. I doubt it's going to be telling them how to dress. I doubt it's going to be telling them whether they should dance or not. I doubt it's going to be any of those. I also had one girl who sent me a text and said to me, you know, Amanda, you're such a dignified woman. For you to say things like "tek" on Instagram, why would you swear? Because that's so unlike, you know, the lady that you are. I was like, first of all, why are you so stuck up? Who raised you? I was like, listen, I don't clap, hey? I don't clap back. I clap back hard. I throw boulders. Don't you dare. I'm like, first of all, I didn't even know "tek" was a swearing thing. I thought this was quite fun. I say it quite often, right? So I'm just like, whoa, listen here, because you are connected to me on social media, don't you dare think you know me or that you even have a right to speak to me like that. But the point is that we are so quick to take our own baggage and dump it on somebody else's lap. Okay, so let's check our own baggage and see how we're going about dumping it on the next person's lap. And I think that, you know, it is so important that we make it a way of life, that we do the things that matter for us. So I am putting out a challenge today, and I'm saying, do something for yourself, only for yourself, that makes you the happiest. Do it every day. It doesn't have to be the whole day. Just take that 15 minutes that if sitting out in nature and looking at trees is your thing, do that. If just having some quiet time with yourself, go for that walk by yourself. And I know that the natural reaction for us women is to say, I really love my family, so I'm gonna do something for them. No, you already do that every day. You are everything to everyone. So just maybe pick something that is just all about you and has nothing to do with anybody else. If it's a book, if it's just drinking your cup of tea in a quiet space, whatever is your thing, do that. If it's writing poetry, like I think it was Tabitha, if it's writing, if it's do that. And in fact, I think we should learn as women to start writing a lot about our feelings and put them on paper, not for someone else to read, but for you to engage with them. And Lungile, one of the psychologists I brought on Bosley Sage, said that, you know, then you can start to engage with your thoughts when you've removed them from the emotion. So please promise me you are going to make it a way of life to do at least something, one thing a day that brings you great joy. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Loretta, I think I was supposed to come to you, ne? Please, I
No worries at all, Amanda.
I forgot because your
No
hand
worries
was,
at all.
I didn't see your virtual hand. I apologize. So yeah, and stop working so much, ladies. Guys, it's not cute to burn out, ne? It's not cute. There's nothing that is cuter, that is cute in that. There's something really special about somebody who knows when to work and when to play. So let's not blur the boundaries. And it is so important because even when you don't have children, what business have you got giving so much of yourself to work? When you have hobbies, when you could be doing something else with your life, when you could actually just be spending that time with yourself. So I will never glorify overworking. I'll 100% tell you it was through hard work to get where I am, but I also learned some lessons along the way that I will never repeat. There is no way in my life, and people always say there's no way in hell. I'm thinking there's no way in heaven that I will work 13 hours a day ever again in my life. I did that in corporate. It cost me dearly. It almost cost me my health. I wasn't there for my children, and I was no different from my own parents. So I just think we need to be so clear about what it is that we're trying to change for the next generation, and be tuned into that and zone into that. If you've come from a family where your mother was so financially dependent on your father that even the horrible things that used to happen to her, she wouldn't leave, your generational obligation is to change that. Don't think that working 14 hours a day is going to change that. It won't. It will simply burn you out, and then you won't be good to no other generation. So it's so important that we make sure that we don't overextend ourselves. And you know, as women, because we always want to be seen as the team player, people keep piling stuff on you and you're like, oh yes, okay, I'll help you, whilst they go and have soup with their families. Come on, you know, just protect your own space and politely decline things that seek to rip you off of your own time and space. I'm not saying don't help others. I'm just saying be careful what you keep taking on and why you keep doing that, because that's so important. Why do you keep doing that? And believe me, you taking on more because you're scared to lose your job is not going to stop you from getting fired or retrenched. Let's just be clear about that. People are just going to keep abusing and using you because you are the person that's always ready and willing to. And I think we need to deal with these harsh truths. We need to deal with the fact that as women, we're constantly overextending ourselves and wanting to feel needed all the time. And no, if you're gonna get retrenched or you're gonna get fired for whatever reason, you overextending yourself is not gonna change that picture. And you know, let's stop allowing ourselves to be bullied in the workplace. You know, I think of so many instances where I had a colleague put their arm around my waist, but then, you know, when it drops just below, you know, when you just like, hi man, you just crossed the line, you know, you know that line. But
we all know that line,
right? And you're like, but the problem is that in the moment you are so violated and so mad and so confused that you're like, okay, what just happened? And remember, we come from places that say, no, you're overreacting. No, it probably was just an innocent thing. No, don't let yourself. The moment you feel violated, you have been violated. So deal with it. Be it a word that was spoken, be it a line that was crossed. Because if we don't deal with it, it will continue every single day. And sometimes it is at the cost of your own security. But the truth is that we need to choose how we use our voice. And I don't actually ever judge any woman that chooses to do otherwise, because you don't know what drives people. You don't know why. But I actually only ever hope that fear is not what drives us every day, that someday we will find our voice. And I think we all have a space in life. We all have our voice to use for whatever we choose is the fight we're going to take on. But I do hope that no one ever makes your life a living hell and you don't do anything about it, because you are giving them the upper hand and you constantly then telling yourself that you are not worthy of a good experience. And that's not okay. So I don't want to preach too much, but I think I'll keep going. Develop clear boundaries, okay? So boundaries are everything. As uncomfortable as boundaries are, you need them, because without them, people will just keep climbing over your wall and they'll keep doing whatever they want. So develop clear boundaries, even if the boundaries are against your own family, because you can't keep giving to others when you even have nothing. I'll tell you, one of the boundaries I had to develop was constantly giving money to my family. I'm not talking about my children and my immediate family. I'm talking about extended family, brother, sister, mother, you name them. I got to a point where I was trying so hard to be the good daughter that I ended up in serious debt. You know, trying so hard to be the good daughter, the good sister, the good, you name it, you put yourself in really difficult positions. For people who keep receiving free money and they never have a need to work for anything. So we're constantly perpetuating a cycle of dependency by overextending ourselves. Now, I'm not saying don't do it. If you want to do it, do it. I'm just saying where it becomes detrimental to your own well-being and your own financial well-being. Remember, women remain at the bottom of the food chain because we're constantly overextending ourselves and because opportunities for us have been very limited. So we have to be so wise about our scarce resources and how we use them. Use them for what matters. If you feel it is up to you and you are able to and you want to do that, look after other people. But it should never be at your own cost. And I learned that the hard way. And you have to start developing boundaries, because we're so quick to just want to be loved and liked by our families that we try to buy their love. And the truth is that I don't think any child ever has to buy anyone's love, anybody. We should never have to buy your family's love. And it's about protecting what is rightfully yours and what you've worked for and those boundaries. Help where you need to help. So I'll tell you, my mother will never go to bed hungry, but I don't then pander to every single request that I feel is unfair and unjust, because I've been down that road before. And I don't mind being seen as the bad guy, because you know what, people are always going to see you as the bad guy if you start to stand up against their unreasonable requests. So it's not just about money, it is about your energy. It is about what you listen to. It's about what you get pulled into, what you get involved with. And I'm just saying that we're never going to realize emancipation of women if we do not start to have seriously concrete boundaries around what matters. And economic freedom is one of those things. You will never have economic freedom if you continuously get yourself into debt just to make other people feel comfortable, just for other people to like you and for you to be seen as the good daughter, the good sibling. So it's so important to develop and define what those boundaries are for you. Sorry, I keep trying to mute this person. Okay, there we go. All right, so I do think that, you know, out of everything I've said in life, ultimately resilience is the name of the game. I don't think it is strength. I think it is resilience. And resilience is not just your ability to bounce back from hard times. Resilience is also your capacity to adapt when things are changing. So it's not just, you know, no, I'm good, I'll bounce back, I've had hard times. No, it's how do you maneuver the contours of your life? How do you keep going even when it's the hardest thing to do? And how do you keep going no matter the season? Because there's one thing that we know for a fact in life, and I know it, I don't know if you do, but seasons do change. And that's the one thing I've always hung on to in my life, is that it might be winter today, spring is sure coming without a shadow of doubt. The winters might feel really long, but actually they're not that long. Spring is going to come, summer is going to come. Every season brings forth its own opportunities and its own challenges. And nothing is actually permanent in life. I think what I mean by that is no experience is permanent in life. So you might be going through a hard time. It's not going to last. You might be killing it. You might be like creaming, you know, life, eating it with a fork and a knife. It doesn't mean that challenges are not going to come. So we have got to be present in every single moment. Every single moment is a gift to learn something about ourselves, to grow better every day, to learn what we need to learn, to give more to our ecosystem or whatever we've been called for. So I really think that, you know, our ability to adapt in changing circumstances is one of those hardest things. But it is something that we have got to really enable. So I'm not all about, you know, strength and things. I'm about resilience. And resilience doesn't say I don't go through hard times. And I told you, my best friend is fighting for her life, but I'm here, I'm connected, I'm tuned in with you, because I know that this is also just as important. And in fact, she would tell me, she would be the first person to tell me, don't you dare not, you know? So I think though, if we keep allowing ourselves not to live because times are hard, then we're going to have a serious problem, because times are always going to be hard. And if we keep living in a moment of euphoria because we are killing it, then we have a problem, because that will change at some point, because seasons do change. So what we need to be having is that muscle to adapt to every single season. Keep our head down when it's tough, and learn the lessons we need to learn, and then rise up when it's time to kill it. And we must just know that life brings both. You know, I don't know, maybe you were promised that your life will be rosy. Mine, I never got that promise. So I take what comes, and I try and adapt as best as I can. And I think we must choose to change our narrative, because this is so important. Whatever we were brought up with, we take what works for us and what we will be able to transfer to the next generation. And to be honest, all of the other things that we like, I don't think so. We must just leave that. So let's not be so fixated on things. And by the way, things like, people like to hold on to things like it's culture, it's our ways of doing things. No, that's not. Things change all the time. If people change, why do you think cultures don't change? If people evolve, why do you think that things stay the same? They don't. They just evolve to the time that you're dealing with. Everything is about evolution. So choose what you want to keep transferring on to the next generation. And I hope that whatever you choose is something that will enable their lives and that they will see the use in it as well. Because also whatever we do now, they also have their choices. They also have the right to decide what works for them and what doesn't work for them. And what I hope is that above everything else, we've enabled them with the conviction that their voice matters and that they matter. And whatever they do, they must keep going that way. And I want to say, I mentioned earlier, the best way to deal with your fears is to confront them. Women suffer so much from feeling inadequate. And you know the word imposter syndrome. But the point is that if you're constantly holding yourself back because you feel inadequate, you are essentially saying somebody else has the right to live a great life and grab opportunities and you don't. And you need to understand why you're doing that. So I really think that you need to know you are enough. You are adequate. Your voice matters. We all have things we need to learn. We don't all wake up and we're experts at things every day, including men, by the way. No one wakes up and they're experts at everything. They just have a better way of winging it than we do. But we gotta learn that it's actually okay to wing it too until we feel comfortable, until we get to a point where we're like, actually, I've learned what I've had to learn. But don't discount yourself right up front and say, because I'm a woman, or I don't feel I'm good enough, I'm not ready, oh no, I shouldn't. No. And I really think you should reflect back on why you're holding yourself back if you are, and learn what you need to learn and focus on what you're great at. I really think that we underestimate what we bring to the table because we're constantly focusing on what we are not bringing to the table. So if you keep focusing on what you're not bringing to the table, you lose sight of why you're actually at that table. You lose sight of the things that you are bringing to the table. And you are at the table because of the things you bring to the table, not because of the things you're not bringing to the table. So it's a vicious cycle when you start to think about, oh, I'm inadequate, I'm not good enough, because then you're eroding even the good things that you do bring to the table. So if there's anything, please be so conscious of what you are great at, what you bring to the table. And there's a reason why there's all of us at the table. We all have different strengths. Imagine if we were all just one vanilla color and all one way of doing things. Oh, I don't know. That's not very exciting to me. But let's be mindful of our thoughts. So let's be mindful of what we think of ourselves, because you can't change your life if your opinion of yourself hasn't changed. If your opinion of who you are and what you deserve hasn't changed, your life is not going to change. So just being mindful of our thoughts is so important. How we show up and just being conscious of how we show up for ourselves mainly. And I really believe that as women, we can have it all. We do have it all. Some of us are living example that you can have it all, but the truth of the matter is that you can't always do it all. You cannot do it all. So understand that you can be it all, you can have it all, but you can't do it all. So when do you call on what, on who to support you with your vision? And in fact, I just think it's okay. Let's glamorize that we can have it all. We can be so hot, beautiful, raising, stable children, at least doing our best, and we can be killing it in our jobs, and we can be killing it in having fun with ourselves. Why not? I mean, we do these things every day. And the problem is that even the ones who do them every day are too shy to say, yeah, no, man, I've got it on. They're too shy to say that because no, you should never say that. People lawyer, witchcraft. Yo, don't tell people you're having a good life. Oh no, they're gonna be jealous of you. So all of these things we were raised with that say minimize your successes, and people must see you as poor and really unhappy, because then they'll be happy because you are taking part in that misery part. And no. We need to be living examples for our next children, for the ones looking up to us. And we cannot be an example if we keep lying. Even when you have your things figured out, you constantly have to lie that, hey, yeah, we keep trying, but it's tough. No, just say it. I mean, I'm one of those people, if I'm spending time with you, the first thing I ask is, are you making money? Are you having a good time? Are you happy? How's your family? How are you feeling? I'm that person. Literally, some people find it incredibly uncomfortable, but the people I hang out with, they're so used to it. They're just like, yeah, I'm killing it. Yo. Or somebody will be like, yo, no, it's hard this time. Then I know when they're saying it's hard, I believe them because it's hard. But if you're going to say it's hard, even when it's not hard, personally, I think you're spitting in God's face, honestly. And if that is emotional blackmail that will work on you, I hope you take it. Don't say things are not fine then when they are fine. If your family is happy, your children are healthy, you are in a good space mentally, and you are doing your best, say it to whoever needs to hear it. It is not boasting. It is not thinking you are better than somebody else, but also say it when you are really having a tough time. Because that is how we connect to people. We don't connect to perfection. We connect to human, because we are human. We don't want someone that's constantly killing it. My friends know. I'll be like, yo, guys, the world is falling apart. But you know what? I'm here. And I'll keep going, right? So I think we must be so mindful of what we tell our minds and our bodies, and how we give gratitude to what we have. And if times are tough, and people will actually feel that, and they'll reach out to help you. But if we're now, even when you are killing it, you say times are tough, and then you're rocking up in a Porsche, and people are like, how? You said times are tough. So now what kind of tough are your times? So I really think that it's okay to celebrate our successes, whatever those successes are. It's okay to celebrate our gifts. It's okay to celebrate those moments when we're like, yo, but this is only God. It can only be God, because there's no way I could have done this. It's okay. And they don't have to be loud. They can just be private moments. It doesn't have to be shouted out up in mountains. You do you. And let's not fall victims to our circumstances. And I really think it's important to recognize the signs. When you're not okay, recognize those signs and don't let it fester for too long. And I mean, I had a great conversation with Nomo and White, who's still here, and on Vastly Sage, the talk show. And we really shared about some of these things that we carry as women. And the pressures, and not asking for help because you don't know what kind of help you need. The truth is that the moment you feel that you are not okay, please tell somebody. Say that I am not okay. Don't try and do it all yourself. Don't try and brave through those feelings, and engage with those emotions and tell somebody that, you know what, I'm actually not feeling okay. And when you're not feeling okay. No one can tell you that. But don't brave it. Don't try to be the strong one. We've agreed today that strength is actually not cute. Like, we're not striving for strength. We're striving for vulnerability, to make sure we are striving to have our support structures be the strongest in the moments when we need them the most, because we will be that to them too. There'll be times when we have to be strong for others, but let's let other people be there for us, even when we don't know what kind of help we need. And I want to close by saying that, your inner voice is one of the most powerful things. And I don't know how people live their lives without listening to that voice. Because for me, that is the guiding star. That is, if you believe in ancestors, I really believe those are your ancestors talking to you. If you believe in angels, I really believe that's how they talk to you. If you believe in God, that's how they talk to you. And if you're not listening, I don't know. That's how you talk to yourself. So if you're not listening, it's going to be a really hard road. But be kind to yourself, embrace yourself, show that compassion that you so rightfully show to others, show it to yourself. Give yourself that hug every day. And I just want you to know that you are not alone. In whatever you are going through, I want you to know that you're not alone. There are people who are going through the most just as much, which means we must reach out to each other, which means we must be kind to each other, which means we must actually take that moment to check in with the people that you care about, even when you are not feeling the best. Because chances are the moment you talk to somebody else, you might come out of that phone call being the one that's actually, saved or helped. So I hope that today, you can reflect on what it is, and as we've done, and just take all of it in, because wow, we do so much, guys. We should be celebrated every day, but not by other people, but by ourselves, and let's drop the judgment. Like, honestly, I don't know who died and made us judge of other women. Honestly, seriously, it's not cute. Let's not do that. If a woman is doing her best, a woman is doing her best. And it may not look like what you believe it is, but let's just not judge, let's just be kind and embracing and loving of each other. Because if we don't do it to ourselves, we're teaching the next generation that they should be catty with each other. And I just don't think that's what we want to pass on. So thank you so much for your time. I do have whoever wants to close. Namande, are you good, my love? I know she doesn't want to speak at all today.
Hi. I'm well. This has been such a lovely and fulfilling session. It's just been such a privilege to spend my day with everybody. You're right. I had no intentions of speaking. I was just taking it all. But as you've been speaking, I've just been, as all of you have been speaking, I've just taken away so many gems. And as you've been closing and wrapping now, I think the one thing that came out was, support is absolutely everything. And I think it's so important that we always show up with kindness, because you just said something so profound, that if a woman is trying, they're trying. It may not look like how you're trying looks like, but the mere fact that she got up that morning, because we don't know the struggles that people are going through. And I think earlier we spoke about entrepreneurship. I think there was aspects of entrepreneurship that came up. And there's entrepreneurship for survival. If someone is on the street selling vegetables because they're trying to feed their kids, that's powerful in and of itself, and we should show, support to that. So there's different layers and levels to this life thing. And I think we take it for granted that a lot of women actually belong to the informal sector, which is really about survival. And I think everyone who's online here today, we sit in a position of privilege because we have data to be on this call. There are women who are struggling for survival, women struggling to feed their kids. And those are people we should be holding very high up in prayer and hoping, for a better circumstance, a better tomorrow. So I think what you've all said, specifically what you said now, is so profound. So much work to do, to do. And each of us can show up in a beautiful and powerful way to help. So I love you deep, and this has been so special. It was so lovely hanging out with you guys.
I love you, Noms. So much work to still be done, but look how far we've come. And we are going to keep going, and that's for a fact. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Noms. I appreciate you tuning in. I think we can close out this session with one song. You choose. We have two left. I think Mafikizolo, and we can do that dance. What's that thing called that people do at weddings? What's that dance, man?
The line dance.
What's it called?
Quick step.
Yeah, well, I'll take this one.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I do it very well. I just don't know what it's called. So if you don't mind, before we close, okay. Before we close, can we, if you feel comfortable, can we unmute ourselves and have a big happy Women's Day? And I'm gonna do a little recording, so don't think I'm spying on you. I've asked for permission. So on 3, okay? So if you can unmute yourself, it's okay. Dogs, kids, cats, it's okay. So 1, 2, 3. Happy Women's Day! Happy Women's Day, everybody.
Happy Women's Day.
Happy Women's Day.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Happy
much.
Women's Day, aunties. Happy Women's Day, aunties.
Happy Women's Day. Baby. My son woke up this morning and said, Happy Mother's Day, Mama. I'm like, thank you.
So sweet.
So there we go.
What's a good idea?
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much. Don't forget hashtag Women's Day with Amanda. Hashtag Varsity Shows. Post what you do, what support you need. Go for it. Thank you so much. Thank you to our people watching on YouTube. Goodbye, everybody. Cheers. Happy Women's Day.
Goodbye.
Bye,
everyone. Bye, Queen.
Happy Women's Day.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thanks, Amanda.
I'll just wait here and be the last one to leave.
If you stay, then we'll all stay.
I need to leave so that everyone leaves. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, Amanda. Thank you, Amanda.
Much love. My pleasure. Bye.
Thank you, Amanda. Bye.